And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wildcat Stadium in Cassville, Missouri. Class 3 District 6 Championship football here on the Talent Sports Network tonight. I say a pleasant evening. It's chilly, but very pleasant compared to what we had earlier in the week. Temperature right now at 44 degrees. It looks to be a very nice night for high school football. Here as the district championships will be decided this evening throughout the area, and the winners will advance on into the quarterfinals in their respective classifications. We've got a good one here tonight. Cassville hosting Seneca, and the winner to move on into the Class 3 quarterfinals. And everything shifts from Friday to Saturday after tonight, as the quarterfinals and the semifinals will be played on Saturday afternoons on their way to the state championships, which will, in Class 3, also be on a Saturday this year as the way the calendar breaks down. Sammy Clapper along with Jeremy Marple, Todd Speakman running the camera for us as always here on CassvilleWebTV.com, and glad to have you along tonight on KQMO 97.7 FM on the web and streaming video at Cassville Web TV on YouTube as well tonight. And we're looking forward to this matchup. It is a rematch of the Big 8 West matchup from back in week number 4, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through the pregame tonight. But as we mentioned last week, Jeremy, when we were talking with Coach Parnell at the end of the victory over Monette in the postgame, to still be playing here in week number 12. You're down to just 16 teams left in your classification, which is Class 3 for the Wildcats. So it's a lot of fun to still be playing football this time of year.
Well, it really is. I mean, this is what it's all about. You're playing for championships, and tonight the Wildcats out here playing for a district championship and a chance, as you said, to keep playing in this football season. Win or go home, and every play is important. So it makes football really fun. Fans are coming out here tonight. I expect to see a good football game.
The winner of this district championship here in District 6 will move on to the quarterfinals on Saturday, November the 23rd, and take on the winner of the District 5 title game being played tonight up near Jeff City between Blair Oaks and Buffalo. And Blair Oaks, by the way, is ranked number 1 in the state in Class 3.
Yeah, we don't get to see a lot from the teams up there because we're, the way the 14-team Big 8 conference, we're just kind of stuck down here playing our local teams, and you can kind of look and see some of the scores that they're posting and what have you, and obviously with that number 1 ranking bumping up from Class 2 last year, Blair Oaks in Class 3.
Winning the championship last year.
Right, Class 2 state champions. Now, they still have a game in front of them. Buffalo has done a good job, tough football team, so we're not going to get ahead of ourselves that much. We've got a game out here tonight that Wildcats are going to need to take care of.
Yeah, because you still got 3 teams out of the Big 8, and they're all out of the Big 8 West and still playing. Seneca and Cassville here tonight, and then Lamar is still alive in Class 2. They're in the District 4 championship tonight at Fair Grove.
Yeah, just great representation out of the Big 8s, and specifically the Big 8 West this year. And when you get to this point in the season, it seems like it's been a long time that you can go back through and you can see a Big 8 team really making a run at that state.
Cassville not the only team from our area. Pierce City's on the road at Thayer tonight in Class 1 district play. Carthage and Webb City are both in action tonight. Webb City in Class 4 and Carthage in Class 5. And the Joplin Eagles, their outstanding season, they're averaging almost 55 points a game. And they are still playing, and they're unbeaten in District 3. So a lot of representation from Southwest Missouri playing for district titles tonight. We wish all of our area teams good luck. And again, the winners move on to the quarterfinals, which now will shift to Saturdays for the quarters and semis. So we'll see what happens after it all shakes out here tonight. We've got a crowd gathering here for this one. Seneca and Cassville here tonight for Wildcat Stadium. As we mentioned, back during the regular season, Seneca won that game down at Earl D. Campbell Stadium, 28-21. That was a back-and-forth ball game as Seneca took the early lead. Cassville battled back, had the lead at halftime. They got a field goal from Drake Reese to give them the lead at the break. But then the Indians come out and score 2 late touchdowns, one late in the third and one late in the fourth, and they end up picking up the win.
Yeah, just a tough ball game, and the Wildcats, the players probably will tell you that they don't feel like they played their best game in week 4, and I expect them to have a little better approach tonight, if you say. The Wildcats were in great position in week 4 to make plays. They just didn't make very many of them. And when you've got 2 running backs like the Wildcats are going to see tonight in Males and Wilson, when you are in position to make a play, you need to make the play because those guys are going to run as hard as any backs that the Wildcats have seen this year.
We'll take a little closer look at the 2 teams and how they got here. But first of all, the national anthem to be played. And the national anthem is brought to you by Berry County Ready Mix. They've got convenient locations in Shellknob, Cassville, and Eagle Rock, and you can reach the Cassville office at 847-3200. That's 847-3200 for a free estimate today. We'll step aside and be back with more of the pregame. You're listening to District Championship Football here on the Talon Network. Attention during the national anthem. Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend a high school game, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association, the Talon Sports Network, and Access Family Care, and we appreciate their sponsorship of Cassville High School Athletics. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Sports World. If you're needing screen printing or embroidery work done on caps, shirts, jackets, uniforms, they can take care of that for you. They also have in-stock area school athletic clothing, all at Sports World on the square in Cassville, 709 Main Street. You can call 417-847-5366. That's 847-5366. So the Seneca Indians come into tonight's game with a record of 8-3. Seneca averaging a little over 25 points a game. They're giving up a little over 21 points a game. Their losses coming to Springfield Catholic in the season opener, and they had a 20-0 lead in that game and then let it get away in the second half. Then they had a back-and-forth knockdown drag-out with Monette there in Seneca and lost that game 35-28 to the Cubs. Very next week, they saw Mount Vernon jump out to an early lead against them. And then the Mountaineers didn't score in the second half, but Seneca could only muster 12 points, and they lost by a single possession. And then they avenged that loss last week at Mount Vernon, 14-12 over the Mountaineers. Besides the victory over Cassville, they also have an impressive road win on the road at Lamar over the Tigers. So this Seneca team, a very good football team. They beat Reed Spring twice this year, and that's not an easy thing to do either. So they've got some very nice wins and a couple of games in their loss column that could have gone either way.
Well, I think you can kind of compare these two clubs with the Wildcats and Indians, and kind of how they've both competed this year. It's been kind of hit and miss. You know, you're not real sure what team's going to show up. Some weeks they play great. Some weekends they have a little bit of a drop off. You just haven't seen that consistent rise as the season's gone along. It's just kind of hard to tell. The Wildcats, in my opinion, offensively, I think the Wildcats have more dynamic players overall. I think there's just more players that the Wildcats can get the ball to. But when we've got two guys coming out of the backfield, like Wilson and Males, those guys can make up for that. Very good players, very elusive, powerful. They don't come down on first contact, and you really have to be disciplined defensively, and you really have to tackle well. And Wildcats have done that at times pretty good. Other times they haven't done it so well, and I think when you go back to the first Seneca game, you could probably watch that tape and you could say, yeah, Wildcats didn't tackle very well in that game. Cassville had their chances in that game to win, but Seneca held on their home field, tough place to go down and play, and got the victory. So that's in the minds of these Wildcat football players, I'm sure. When they come out tonight, I expect a focus group. They should be playing with confidence. They've been scoring a lot of points and not giving up a whole lot. So Wildcats are playing pretty well right now. I think we're going to see a good ball game out here.
Cassville comes in with a record of 9-2. They're averaging 33 points a game, giving up only 10, and that shows you the defensive prowess that they have throughout the season. Their losses coming to Lamar 14-10, and then to this Seneca team 28-21 down in Seneca back in week number 4. Cassville coming off of a semifinal win last week over Monette, a team they beat twice, and that's not an easy thing to do, to beat a very good Cubs team twice in the same year. They also have victories over Reed Spring and also nice wins throughout the year as well. So, as you pointed out, this one shapes up to be a really good football game here tonight.
It does. I'm not saying Seneca is a one-dimensional football team. Obviously, they want to run the football. That's their best players are in the backfield. Cassville is not as one-dimensional. Devin Bates does a great job distributing the football. He throws the ball accurately. When you've got receivers like DJ White and you see Brett Cooper come in and catch a touchdown a couple weeks ago. Players on the edge that can go get the football. Then you've got Bowen Preddy coming out of the backfield. He'll also line up wide receiver, run deep fade routes. Hard to stay with those guys, a lot of speed. And also, as the season's gone on, Jericho Ferris has become a really nice option for the Wildcats out of the backfield. And then Zach Kanan, too, punishing running back coming out of the backfield. Wildcats have a lot of guys that make it very difficult to defend.
Yeah, you look back to that Week 4 meeting, Wilson and Males combined for over 180 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. But they also had 2 receivers with nice nights. Dathan Long and also Preston Armstrong each hauled in a touchdown pass, and each had over 50 yards receiving. So that's one thing, as you just pointed out. They're not the Seneca of old, just a one-dimensional running attack. They've got a quarterback that can throw the football, and he's got some targets that he can distribute it to.
Yeah, they scored on a couple big plays through the passing game, but they want to run the football. And you saw 180 yards on the ground in Week 4. Wildcats going to do what they can to eliminate that. They've got the Conference Player of the Year coming out of the backfield, so they know who they have to stop if they want to win a football game. And if they want to win a football game, they got to stop Males. They got to stop Trey Wilson.
One thing that people might forget in that Week 4 meeting as well, Zach Kanan had a really nice night, over 80 yards on the ground and a touchdown. DJ White had over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. But Bowen Preddy was still dinged up a little bit. That was just 2 weeks after he got injured in the Springfield Catholic game. He did not see a lot of action running the football that night. He had a couple of catches, but he didn't get a lot of carries that night.
Yeah, the lower leg issue that he was dealing with early in the season just was not explosive. We just did not see that breakaway speed. You're starting to see that as the season's gone on. And that offense is different when he's not on the field. So with him back in the fold, it makes the Wildcats more dynamic.
Cassville Wildcat Keys to Victory is brought to you by Wesco Home Furnishings. Mark Whittemar and the crew at Wesco Home Furnishings in Cassville are looking forward to the postseason of Wildcat football. And just like the quality portrayed by each Wildcat player on the field, they offer that same quality merchandise and customer service. Well, one thing key to a victory, you've already mentioned it, going back to that first meeting, They got to do a better job tackling tonight because they were getting guys to the point of contact. They just weren't bringing Wilson and Males down, so a better job of tackling is one of the keys to a win here tonight.
Just tackling in their pursuit. You got to break down. You got to tackle. The Wildcats may have been a little over aggressive, over pursuing a little bit, and a little cutback ends up in an arm tackle. You're not going to arm tackle Trey Wilson. That's just not going to happen. So, disciplined defense and tackling. I mean, that's just it. Be physical up front. You've got to match the physicality. Wildcats, I felt, did a really good job of that last week against a very physical Monette Cub team. They're going to have to bring that again tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad that's another perfect key to a victory, to match the physicality of Seneca, because we can remember back to that first week, a couple of guys, Skylar Commons and Jacob Tate, two of their bigger defensive linemen, really did a good job getting into the Cassville backfield and creating a lot of havoc, and they're going to have to keep those guys out of there.
Yeah, you just have to match. You have to match it. You cannot lose the battle up front. You're going to lose some. I mean, you're going to lose some of those battles, but you got to win more than you lose tonight.
Should be interesting. And again, tonight's Wildcat Keys to Victory brought to you by Mark and the gang at Wesco Home Furnishings. They invite you to stop by and view their wide selection of furniture, mattresses, and appliances at 109 West 8th Street in Cassville. You can find them online at wescohome.com. We're going to take another break, let you hear from our sponsors. Back with more of the pregame as the Wildcats get set to take on the Indians. Class 3 District 6 Championship tonight here from Wildcat Stadium. You're listening to high school football here on the Talent Network. Marple back here at Cassville as the Wildcats get set to take on the Seneca Indians. Class 3 District 6 Championship football game here tonight between the Wildcats and Seneca. The Big 8 conference selections are out for the 2019 season, and the Wildcats very well represented on the Big 8. First team, second team, and honorable mention squad. Seneca has several representatives on the Big 8 all-conference selections as well. It's time to go over the Wildcats starting lineup for tonight's ball game. It's brought to you by Fast Trip, 104 South Main in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. We'll start with the defense. Jacob Hall, a 5'8", 250-pound senior. He's honorable mention all Big 8. Garrett Kreitz, 6', 290 sophomore. Those are the two tackles. Defensive end, Jaden Rybert, 6'2", 230 junior. And first team all Big 8, Andrew Pryor, a 6'2", 200-pound senior. At the linebackers, Zach Kanan, first team all Big 8, 5'11", 190 junior. He'll be joined by Bowen Preddy, 6'1", 180 senior. And honorable mention all Big 8, Jacob Olberts, 5'10", 170-pound senior. The corners are Jerome Ewing, 5'9", 150 junior, and DJ White, 6'1", 190 senior. Strong safety, first team all Big 8, Jericho Ferris, 5'10", 180 junior. Free safety, Cade Hayward, 5'8", 145 senior. On the offensive side at quarterback, Devin Bates, 5'9", 145 senior. He is second team all Big 8. The running backs, first team all conference, Bowen Preddy, 6'1", 180-pound senior. Preddy on the year has ran for over 630 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's also got 5 receiving touchdowns on the year. Or I got myself backwards here. Let me correct myself. Preddy has ran for over 730 yards and 12 touchdowns, and he also has 5 receiving touchdowns. Also joined in the backfield, Zach Kanan. He's second team all Big 8, 5'11", 190 junior. He has ran for over 630 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season. The receivers, DJ White, first team all conference, 6'1", 190 senior. DJ with 760-plus yards receiving and 10 touchdown receptions. He'll be joined by Brett Cooper, 5'8", 155 junior. Tight end, Killian Barbie, 6'2", 190 junior. And the offensive line for the Wildcats at center, second team all conference, Troy Hagan, a 5'11", 210 senior. Right guard, Jaden Rybert, second team all conference, 6'2", 230 junior. Right tackle, Hunter Chastain, second team all conference, 6'1", 225 junior. Left guard, Nate Boley, 5'10", 210 senior. And left tackle, Wesley Stockton, 6', 290 junior. And Drake Reese made first team all Big 8, not only as kicker, but also as punter. And those were the all-conference selections for the Wildcats. Again, the Wildcats starting lineup brought to you by Fast Trip. Whether for fuel, grocery items, fountain drink, or snacks, they have it all at the very best prices. Fast Trip, 104 South Main in Cassville, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr.
A really nice representation there by the Wildcats. A lot of guys on a lot of teams. It's something to be really proud of. They work hard, and they earn those. And very proud of them. Very happy for those guys.
The Indians and the Wildcats have both made their way out onto the field. We're just about 5 minutes or so away from tonight's opening kickoff. The Seneca Indians in their road white jerseys with the red numerals on the front and back. They've got red pants and the all-white helmets. Cassville all black again tonight with the home black shirts, black pants, black helmets with the gold numerals on the front and back. Head coach Lance Parnell for the Wildcats, gathering his captains on the sidelines. And head coach Ryan McFarland from Seneca doing the same on the far side, getting ready to visit with the officials prior to tonight's kickoff, as we will have the coin toss and see who's going to get the ball to start the game, which way they're going to be going. Again, a very nice night here in week number 12. Temperatures hovering around 40 degrees, probably get down into the low 30s by the time we're done here tonight, but no wind, so that is nice. Takes a little of that edge off. And compared to those 10, 12-degree temperatures we had just about 4 or 5 days ago back at the beginning of the week, and the snow and the ice, tonight is really, really nice compared to that.
Well, you take the wind out of the equation, you can certainly tolerate this cold, dry air. So, no wind, flags on the goalpost, still American flag in the north end zone hanging still. Just a little cool air out there. Ought to be the players. Ought to be great for them. Looking at the surface of the football field, when that Bermuda starts to dry, I mean everything is turned brown now. You can you see the yardage markers and the big Wildcats out in the middle. But one of the things we noticed a little bit last week, the surface seemed to slicken up just a little bit. Had some footing issues out there, and I think you run into that a little bit with Bermuda as it starts to go dormant. And we'll see if that has an impact out here tonight as well.
Yeah, we had a little rain midweek last week, but this time the moisture and the precipitation was from very early in the week, so hopefully things have dried up quite a bit before tonight's game. Well, the captains, the coaches, and the officials are going to meet at midfield. We'll take another break and be back with tonight's opening kickoff. You're listening to District Championship Football here on the Talon Network. Cassville, the Wildcats have won the coin toss, and they have deferred their option to the second half, so the Wildcats will be kicking off to the Indians to start tonight's game. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you, as always, by Baywash Car Wash, located in Cassville. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic, featuring custom wash technology, giving you the perfect wash every time. With Baywash, a clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. After the snow and ice from earlier in the week, it's supposed to be dry for a few days, so a good time to get to Baywash Car Wash and get your vehicle all cleaned up and ready to go. Tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Michael's Hardware, located at 186 Sale Barn Road in Cassville. For your project questions, call Michael's. Friendly folks, serious hardware. Well, Drake Reese, first team All Big 8 kicker for the Big 8 West, is teeing the ball up. Cassville will be coming out of the south end zone, kicking towards the north, and Seneca will be trying to score in that south end zone as they go from our left to right as we look on here this evening. Trey Wilson and Monty Males back deep for the Indians as they await the kickoff of Drake Reese. We've got a fresh 12 minutes on the clock. We've got a whistle, and we have a kickoff, and we are underway. Class 3 District 6 championship game, and the kickoff goes into the end zone, and it will be a touchback, and the Indians will start at their own 20.
Wildcats going to bring their defense out on the field. Great opportunity here to set the tone, play physical football, really bring the heat and make good tackles right here. Set the tone early in the football game, say, hey, here's where we're going to bring all night long.
We were talking about Cassville's all-conference selections. All three of the skill players for Seneca. Lance Stevens at quarterback was tied for first-team All-Big 8 with Carter Brink from Monette. Trey Wilson, the Offensive Player of the Year in the Big 8 West, and Monty Males, a first-team all-purpose back. And before we have our first snap of the night, we've got penalty flags, and hopefully that's not a trend because we saw a lot of penalty flags in that game down at Seneca.
Oh, it was just terrible. Nearly 300 yards in penalties between the two clubs. And right out of the chute, Seneca penalty is going to go against the Indians, false start.
So that'll move them back to the 15-yard line. First and 15 now for Seneca. Stevens, the junior, Males and Wilson are both seniors. They go unbalanced to the right side. They got receivers both ways. Males flares out to the left. He makes the catch on a pass down the line of scrimmage and trying to turn up field, fights his way back to the 15, maybe got to the 16. Looks like they are going to give him the 16-yard line for a pickup of only a yard.
Yeah, that's a nice job by the Wildcats. Stretching out, making a tackle in the open field as Stevens just kind of swung the pass out there to Males, trying to get him the ball in the open field where he can be really dangerous. Wildcats just did a really nice job on defense right there.
So second down and 14 facing the Indians from inside their own 20-yard line. Cassville moving around on the defensive side. They go full house backfield this time. They've got 3 backs behind Stevens, and he hands off to the left side. A surge from the offensive line, and now a tackle broken and a cutback at the 40, and it's a foot race. Monty Males at the 40, at the 30, and tackled from behind by Zach Kanan. Great effort by Kanan to keep Males from getting to the end zone, but it's going to be 1st and 10 Seneca at the Cassville 20-yard line.
Yeah, big play right out of the chute there. Males breaking tackles through that Wildcat defense, was able to squeeze out at the end. Kanan able to run him down, save a touchdown here, and give his defense another chance to keep the Indians off the board.
A 65-yard run for Monty Males, and it's 1st and 10 Indians from inside the 20-yard line. Early on here in the first quarter, again unbalanced to the right side. They run back to the left. They give the ball to Males once again, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, fights forward for a gain of maybe a yard to the 18.
Well, the Indians just trying a little power football off the left side there. Wildcat defense holds strong, able to grab Males, wrap up, and bring him down.
So second down and 9 for the Indians, down to 10-20 now, early on here in the first quarter of play. Man comes in motion, now sets up on the left side. Handoff goes to Wilson. He gets his first carry of the night. Power move off left tackle. Wilson dives in behind a couple of offensive linemen, sneaks inside the 15, down to the 13 or 14-yard line, and it's going to bring up third down at about 4.5 yards.
One of the things when you watch this Indian offense, their offensive line does a good job of getting push up front. And also, when you look at Males and Wilson, they'll lead block for each other. One will get a carry, lead block, the other lead blocks, and they flip-flop right around.
So big third down play here. Man sliding in motion from left to right. They give the ball to the second man through. Off right tackle, the ball carrier goes, and I believe that was Wilson once again. And he takes it inside the 10 down to about the 7 and does pick up the first down. They spot him down at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Indians.
Indians lineman right up on the line of scrimmage, ready to go again as Stevens looks to the sideline for a play. They're going to go a little up-tempo here.
They split Males and Wilson in the backfield. Stevens up under center. And he's going to run the option this time. Pitches the ball to Wilson, trying to get to the sidelines, and he scampers down inside the 5 and is knocked out of play. Kind of blocked from our view down here in the south end. We'll see where they spot the football. They bring it out from the corner, and it looks like they're going to put it down at the 4, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
A little option game. Nice job out there. DJ White is at the corner. Was the first man there, able to hold Males up a little bit. Preddy coming from his linebacker position, able to help finish off the play, drive the ball carrier out of bounds.
So 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Indians. Seneca trying to break on top. They did this as far as getting out in front in the first meeting of the year. They scored first against Cassville. That game down in Seneca. Now they're trying to do the same here tonight. Stevens talking to his tailback. Now he gives the ball off to Males, a cutback. And Males is hit once, hit again, and stopped short of the goal line. Good second effort there by Males, but a better job by the Cassville defense keeping from breaking the plane, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, Cassville defense, Males wanting to go try to get to the edge there. Nice job by the defense to force him back inside to get some help defense there.
So 3rd and goal for the Indians from the 1-yard line. Stevens takes it on the quarterback keeper, sneaks in behind his center, and breaks the plane, and the Indians are on the board first. A 1-yard plunge by Stevens as Seneca breaks on top 6-0.
Big play in that drive, 60-plus yard run, ends up with points. That quarterback sneak down on the 1-yard line. It's a tough play to stop when you've got a big offensive line and a 190-pound quarterback pushing his way into the end zone.
Braden Thiel will now attempt the extra point out of the hold of Lucas Mars, right-footed kicker. And the snap is a good one. Mars gets it down, the kick is up, and it is through. 8:42 left to go in the first quarter. The Indians are on top, 7-0 over the Cassville Wildcats.
Well, the Indians strike first.
They go 9 plays, 80 yards in 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, right down the field they go. Again, big play involved in there. Wildcats cannot afford to give up big plays. They did a really nice job last week of not giving up that big play. Tonight, big playmakers on the other side. They've got to avoid giving up big plays, which oftentimes leads to scores.
Very similar to the first meeting of the year when the first possession of the night, the Indians went 80 yards in 12 plays, but they took over 6.5 minutes off the clock in that drive and was able to punch it in. This one was quite a bit quicker as the Indians had that big run from Monty Males that set up the touchdown. Jericho Ferris drops back at his own 15 awaiting the kick. He's flanked by Preddy and White as Braden Thiel will tee it up for the Indians. Seneca out in front 7-0 here early on here in the first quarter. Tonight's first quarter brought to you by Michael's Hardware. They'll give you your game plan, or they'll give you your to-do list, I should say, a game plan that's sure to be a winner. Michael's Hardware. Friendly folks, serious hardware. Short kick angled towards the Cassville sideline. Brett Cooper hauls it in back around the 30. His momentum took him just inside the 30. We'll see where they spot this one down. It's kind of a fluttering kick. They didn't want to kick it deep. And they've changed kickers. Garrett Babbitt used to be the kicker for the Indians early in the year, but now Thiel has taken over the kicking duties, and it looks like it'll be 1st and 10 Cassville at their own 30.
Yeah, a little pop-up kick. Cooper calling for the fair catch. The Wildcats will start right here.
So the Wildcats with the first time offensively touching the football, and they run on first down. Take it off right tackle. Zach Kanan getting the call, pushes his way out to the 32-yard line as he has a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Earlier in the season when these two teams met, Zach Kanan was just a battering ram, running hard, earning every yard he got, and a very physical runner. One thing the Wildcats did not have, one factor, they didn't have Bowen Preddy behind him.
Twin receivers to the right side, split backfield behind Devin Bates. They run the option to the wide side of the field. Bates has got the corner. He turns it upfield, and he's out to the 40-yard line, and this is going to be very close to a first down. Good job by Devin Bates. He saw a little seam open up, and he took advantage with a quick burst of speed, and he does pick up the first down. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Cassville Sears Hometown Store with brand name appliances like Kenmore, Samsung, LG, and Whirlpool at 99 Highway 37 South in Cassville.
Yeah, Bates doing a good job in the option game, reading that play, faking to the fullback. And as you said, he saw an opening, was able to put that right foot in the ground, down the field he went, picked up a big first down there.
7-0 Indians with the lead, 7:45 left to go first quarter. The Indians come with a 4-man front, but they show blitz. Now they back out and go with the 3-man front as Bates from the shotgun lets one fly over the middle. It's got a man open, but it's underthrown and nearly intercepted as Ren Rainey nearly got in that passing lane and picked that one off.
As the Wildcats shifted offensive positions there, Preddy had come out of the backfield into the slot, and he just ran a seam right down the middle of the football field. Bates trying to thread the needle there between the safeties. I think if he puts some air under the football and just lets Preddy go, Wildcats are looking at 6 points right there.
So 2nd down and 10 from the Wildcat 40. Bates this time will be back up under center with the split backfield, twin receivers to the right. They bring the tight end Barbie around to the left side, and they're going to run the ball that way. They hand it off to the first man through. That's Preddy as he gets his first carry of the night. Takes it out to the 42, maybe the 43. It is going to be the 43-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 7.
Wildcats had a lot of success this season in the passing game. When you throw on first down and you have nothing to show for it, boy, it makes 2nd and longs. The playbook starts to change a little bit, and then a short gain on 3rd down. Now you're at 3rd and long, so you can put yourself behind the 8-ball a little bit.
Cooper goes wide to the right. DJ White wide to the left. Bates rolling to his right. Pressure coming from behind. Fires a pass, and it's incomplete over on the Seneca sideline. Couldn't tell for sure, but it looked like an Indian player may have got a hand on it and tipped it, but either way, Wildcats didn't come up with the completion. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Bates trying to hit Cooper on the out route as Bates rolling to his right. Threw it right to the Indian sideline, and I believe you're correct, Sammy. I believe a defender was able to get his hand in the way and knock the ball away.
So Cassville forced to punt on their first possession of the night. Drake Reese, also first-team All-Big 8 West punter. Rugby style, kicks it down the Seneca sideline, sails back towards the middle of the field. Monty Males hauls it in back around the 25 and brought it in traffic, but was able to keep his concentration, hang on to the football. The Indians are going to have decent starting field position around their own 27.
Yeah, I tell you what, it'd be a good punt returner, Sammy. You really can't have any fear back there. Your eyes are up on that football. You know the other side's coming down at full speed, and Males catching that in traffic. Seneca coaching staff, they got a lot of faith in him or he wouldn't be back there. But I tell you what, that's when bad things can happen, catching that ball in traffic like that.
It was only a 30-yard kick, no return, and the Indians have it back, leading 7-0. They go split backfield behind Stevens. He's going to run it himself as he fakes the handoff up the middle, turns the corner, and takes it across the 30 out to the 32 as he is able to pick up nearly 5 yards. So 2nd down and 5 now facing the Indians. As again they go double tight, they send a receiver out wide to the right side. Stevens hands the ball off this time, gives it to Monty Males, and Males fights his way out to the 35-yard line, gains 3 more yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively by the Wildcats. That defensive line did a pretty good job absorbing that push, letting those linebackers of the Wildcats come up and make tackles.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Indians, and Stevens again fakes the handoff, trying to pick up the 1st down on his own, and it does not look like he's going to get there, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, really good job in there. Trying to get a number, look like Jacob, I believe that was 45, I believe that was Jacob Olberts, the linebacker right there to bring the ball carrier down. Here the Indians are going on 4th down.
Coach McFarland going to roll the dice here, and they go with the quarterback keeper and a surge by the center and the 2 guards. And Stevens on a quick count dives forward and picks up the 1st down.
Hey, gutsy call. Hey, at this point in the season, Sammy, you're going for it. You're playing for championships. Sometimes you're going to go on a 4th and short deep in your own territory. The Indians right there are showing a lot of faith in that offensive line.
So 5 minutes left to play here in the 1st quarter. The Indians leading 7-0. They convert on 4th down. It's 1st and 10 at their own 38. This time Stevens takes a long look at the Cassville defense. 4-man front, and he gives the ball off to the 2nd man through. That's Males again. Nice cutback by Males. He's across the 45 and out to midfield. Another 1st down by the Indians.
Really nice job of blocking up front for Males right there. Both of these backs run with great vision. Males showed you right there as he got through the line of scrimmage, was able to cut back against the grain towards the middle of the football field, brought down in the secondary, but not before picking up that 1st down.
The ball right at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10 Seneca. As we talked about the first meeting of the year, it's kind of a 1-2 punch with Wilson and Males. Wilson's the power, Males the agility and the speed. Not to say that Wilson can't run, because he can. Now they run an option to the wide side, pitch it to Males, and he has nowhere to go. The Cassville defense all over the Seneca ball carrier, and they'll drop him for a loss.
Yeah, Pryor, Ferris, also Cooper over here. Great job of stretching that play all the way near the Wildcat sideline. When Males caught the pitch, nowhere to go. 3 black and gold jerseys right there. Really nice job of reading the play and making a play.
It's a loss of 2 back to the Seneca 48, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long. Under 4 minutes now left to play here in the opening quarter. Seneca on top, 7-0. Indians send a receiver out wide to the left. They've got a flanker lined up that way as well. And they're going to run the ball that direction, trying to run the option. And the pitch comes late, and Cassville again all over the ball carrier. Another loss on the play.
Yeah, another great read in the option game, taking away the fullback and then stretching the play out. Stevens trying to run the option game. The Wildcats are just in great position in the last 2 plays. Great position to be there and make tackles. And again, good job in the open field on Males, bringing him down.
Yeah, and it's not like they just got one guy out there on the pitch man. There's 2 or 3 guys on the pitch man, and then there's a guy on the quarterback not letting him run upfield too.
They're flying to the ball right now.
So 3rd down and 13. The Indians from their own 47. Stevens looking to throw for the 2nd time tonight. Looking to his right, now looking to his left. Now he's under pressure, and he is sacked back at the 35-yard line. Taken down by Jaden Rybert, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Wildcats putting pressure in the passing game. They've done a good job really all season of getting pressure with their down linemen. This time Rybert's able to get off his block, cause Stevens to flee the pocket, try to get away. Rybert was able to get his hands on him and bring him down. Huge defensive play right there.
It's a loss of 12, and Seneca forced to punt. And the kick is a line drive kick down the middle of the field. Bounces at the 38, scooped up by DJ White as he picked that ball up in between a couple of Seneca players, still on his feet, fighting for extra yardage. Now they say the ball may have come loose over there on the far sideline. Seneca signaling they have it. We still haven't seen an official give us a word yet. And now they say Seneca football. DJ White trying to fight for extra yardage in front of the Seneca bench. The ball comes free, and the Indians get it right back.
Yeah, we'll see the officials talking about it a little bit, and they are signaling Seneca football. Nice job by DJ White to step up and catch the bounding ball. Trying to fight for extra yards. You can't fault him for that, Sammy. He's given it all he's got, worked his way over, broke a couple of tackles, got all the way over to the Seneca sideline right at the tail end of the play. Ball stripped away, and the Indians recover. Tough break for the Wildcats, huge break for the Indians.
So the first turnover of the night on a fumbled punt gives the ball back to the Indians in Cassville territory at the Wildcat 48. Stevens calls his own number on first down and takes it down to the 45, maybe just inside the 45. Looks like they're going to put it down at the 44-yard line for a gain of about 4.5, 5 yards.
Wildcat defense had it played the last series with a lot of intensity. They need to keep it up right here as they just give it back to the Indians on the turnover. Need to keep up that intensity. Try to get the ball back in their offense's hands here.
1:30 left to go first quarter. Seneca with the lead and the football. 7-0 Indians on top. Stevens now with a long snap count. Play clock down to 8 seconds. Takes the snap, runs the option to the short side. Pitches back to Males. Males has the sidelines and picks up the first down. Finally knocked out a play just shy of the 30, it appears.
Just a little quick option there. Stevens took a couple of steps towards that left edge and pitched to Males. Males caught it at full speed, was able to get through the corner, turn down that Indian sideline, and pick up that first down.
Gain of 12, 1st and 10 Seneca at the Cassville 32. Males already approaching 100 yards here in the first quarter, but of course 65 of those came on one carry. Stevens this time from the pistol, gives it off to Wilson. Wilson right up the middle, racing his way inside the 30 down to the 25. And Trey Wilson broke a couple of tackles on his way to nearly picking up another first down.
Yeah, Wilson just right down the middle of the field, right at the defense. Big gain on first down right there.
It's a gain of 8.5 yards. It'll bring up second down and short. We're inside a minute now left to play in the first quarter. Seneca splits the backfield this time. And Stevens will give the ball to Wilson again, right in behind the offensive line, cuts back to the left and takes it inside the 15, picks up a first down. Stops shy of the 10, though, so it will not be first and goal. They place it down, it looks like, at the 13-yard line.
Just power football once again with Wilson. Getting behind that big offensive line, running very hard. Had about a yard to get, got plenty.
And he gained 11.
Yeah, Indians still moving here.
Well, the play clock's at 16 and the game clock at 13, so they're going to try to run one more play before the quarter comes to an end. They break huddle and quickly scamper up to the line of scrimmage. Down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Stevens takes the snap with 3 seconds left in the quarter. Gives the ball to Wilson. Wilson trying to get to the edge and turn it down the sideline. Cassville strings him out, and DJ White drops him over there to end the first quarter. We'll see where they spot the football. Looks like they're going to put him down around the 9 after a 4-yard gain. And that will do it for the first quarter of play here at Wildcat Stadium. We'll take a timeout, be back with quarter number 2. The Indians lead the Wildcats 7-0. You're listening to District Football here on the Talon Network. 7-0 as we get set to start the second quarter. Class 3 District 6 championship football tonight. The winner moves on to the Class 3 quarterfinals a week from tomorrow and take on either Blair Oaks or Buffalo. Those two teams playing up near Jefferson City tonight in the District 5 championship game. Seneca has the football, 2nd down and 6 from the 9-yard line of the Wildcats.
And the Indians have really dominated the first quarter of this game. And I tell you what, first quarter just flew by. And it was all Indians, 7-0, but they're threatening once again.
Up to the line of scrimmage, Stevens again taking a look at the Cassville defense, letting the play clock tick away, a few seconds off, and now he takes a snap, gives the ball to Wilson, and Trey Wilson, running in behind the blocking of Males off left tackle, is stopped shy of the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to put him down at the 7 for a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Looked like Pryor may have been the first Wildcat defender to Wilson. Met him right at the line of scrimmage.
Seneca 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversion tries so far here in the first half, and they've got a 3rd and 3 here from inside the 10. Stevens gives the ball to Males. This time Males is going to run in behind the blocking of Wilson, breaks a tackle at the 5 and takes it in for the touchdown. Monty Males scores from 7 yards out, and the Indians extend their lead.
Just strong legs. He's running these Seneca backs. Their legs are very strong. Wildcats had a couple of defenders out there trying to get around the legs of these ball carriers. Males just able to just rip them out of the arms of the Wildcat tacklers, and into the end zone goes Males.
So now Braden Thiel will come in to attempt the extra point. Low snap this time. It actually bounced, but they got it up and on the tee. Good job by the holder, Lucas Mars, to get that ball upright. And Braden Thiel kicks it up and through, and the Indians lead it 14-0 with 11:19 left to go here in the first half.
Well, the Wildcats have dug themselves a bit of a hole here, getting down a couple scores early.
Yeah, this is something that did not happen in the first meeting.
A lot of football game left.
Neither team led by more than a possession in that first game. But here we go. Now they're down by 2 touchdowns early on in this one. But just as you pointed out, we've still got nearly 3 quarters of football to play.
Wildcats turn the football over on the punt return. Seneca makes them pay and jump out to a 2-score lead here as we're just barely here into the second quarter.
Jericho Ferris back at the 15-yard line awaiting the kick of Thiel. Braden Thiel only a sophomore. And he doesn't really get much of a run at it. He actually kicks from the side. He's only about 2 yards behind the ball, but he's way off to the side. He comes in with a quick 3 or 4 steps and then gets a side cross leg sweep through it. And again, it's a short kick. One of the up men for the Wildcats take it. I believe that was
like Preddy.
I started to say 33, but it wasn't 33, 34.
Yeah, that was
Bowen Preddy over there on the far sideline, and he does a nice job not only getting the football, but returning it for about 12 yards all the way out to the 45-yard line. So the Wildcats are going to have good starting field position on the second possession of the night.
Yeah, deepest man for the Wildcats in the return game was standing right around the 18-yard line. Preddy to his left, able to come up and receive that kick and bring it out for a nice return.
So the Wildcats line up in the I formation, send receivers right and left, and Bates gives off to the tailback, and that's Jericho Ferris. He gets his number called for the first time here in the ball game, takes it straight ahead to the 49-yard line, picks up 4 yards.
Now physical running there by Ferris. And again, we've seen him just improve every week and really become a much more physical back for this Wildcat football team.
So 2nd down and 6, the ball just shy of midfield. All 4 of the backs have now carried the football for the Wildcats. Bates, Kanan, Preddy, and Ferris. DJ White and that's Cooper to the left and Preddy to the right. Bates looking to throw. He's got the post route. He's got Preddy open. The pass is caught at the 15 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cassville. Bowen Preddy does it again. They have run that play successfully several times this season. and Bowen Preddy with his speed runs by the secondary, and Bates put the ball right on the money.
Yeah, one-on-one coverage out here with Preddy. They bring White in motion to try to get the defense to focus on him coming out of that backfield. Preddy runs a deep post, got inside the corner, got behind that safety, and it was just a foot race. Once again, great throw right in stride as Bates hits Preddy for a huge score in this game.
A 51-yard touchdown pass from Bates to Preddy, and now the extra point by Reese is up and through. The Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance for auto, home, health, life, and commercial insurance. See the folks at Willis Insurance on the square in Cassville and in Shell Knob in the Bridgeway Plaza. Stop by and get a quote today. Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by Crowder College. The main campus is in Neosho, but they have a satellite campus in Cassville. For class and enrollment information, go online to crowder.edu. Well, that quickly changes the face of this football game and gets the home crowd back into it rather quickly as well.
Well, Wildcats needed that real bad. They needed points real bad. The fact that it was a big play, big exciting pass play to get the crowd back into it, get the Wildcat sideline back into it just a little bit, really swinging that momentum back to them, could play huge dividends in this game.
Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash with the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. It features custom wash technology, giving you the perfect wash every time. Drake Reese set to kick it away. We've got Wilson and Males back at the 5-yard line waiting to kick.
Reese squeezing on that football, trying to soften it up a little bit here on a chilly night.
Drake Reese approaches and kicks a line drive kick, and it will be hauled in at the 3-yard line by Monty Males. Makes a cut back at the 20 and dives across the 25, but is stopped short of the 30.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you notice about Males in the open field is how quick he changes direction. We saw just a couple little moves right there on the return. Just very quick. Once he decides he's going in a direction, it's just immediate, boom, and he's gone. Good job by the coverage team to bring him down there.
Yeah, and Cassville fans will remember River Phelps just a few years ago. He
Right,
had
same
that
thing.
same ability where
Right.
he could cut and go completely in almost it seemed like the opposite direction in the blink of an eye.
Right, same kind of back.
So 1st and 10 Indians, the ball at their own 28-yard line. Stevens looking to throw on first down. He's got one-on-one coverage and lobs one down the sidelines, and the ball is incomplete as Cooper was over there with, I believe it was Armstrong, and he could not hang on to the football.
It was right down the sideline. I couldn't really tell if Armstrong actually hauled the pass in, but may have been out of bounds. Cooper, great positioning, running him right down that sideline. Ball thrown, really nice throw by Stevens where only his guy could get it. But really nice defense by Cooper right there.
And that was not Armstrong, that was Simpson over there. So that was not Preston Armstrong, it was Kyle Simpson they were trying to get the ball to, because now Armstrong is in the game and he lines up as a receiver to the right side. Stevens from the shotgun. Hands off to the lone setback, and that's Wilson. Wilson makes a cutback at the 30, but is tripped up as Ferris drops him at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, nice read there by Ferris from that strong safety position. Seeing the back coming off that left tackle, was able to get in there, nearly overran the play. Fortunate for the Wildcats, Ferris able to get a hold of the legs of the ball carrier and bring him down.
That's part of the reason why Jericho Ferris was a first-team all-conference safety in the Big 8 West. Twin receivers to the right side this time, 3rd down and 6. Wilson goes in motion, and they snap the ball directly to Males instead of to the quarterback, and Monty Males races straight ahead and picks up the first down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, just situation right there. Funky formation, spreading the defense out, running some receivers to the wide side of the field, got the defense spread out just a little bit, direct snap to Males, straight ahead. Enough for the first down, keep the drive alive.
Yeah, as you said, Cassville had used DJ White to come in motion to distract the defense when they threw the touchdown to Preddy. Well, they sent Wilson in motion to kind of distract the defense,
Right.
and they snapped it directly to Males, and he is able to gain 11 yards. So he is over 100 yards here in the first half rushing, and he has a touchdown. 9 minutes left to go.
Males in the shotgun right here.
And this time he's going to fake the handoff and run in behind Wilson, and he's got open field. He's at the 30. One man to beat, the 20, the 10, touchdown, but there is a flag back at the 47-yard line of the Seneca Indians. So Monty Males takes it the distance for his second touchdown of the night, but will it stand? And a holding call against the Indians is going to bring back a 59-yard touchdown run for Monty Males.
Yeah, this time the Indians run Stevens, the quarterback, out wide to the wide side of the field over near the Seneca sideline. Males in the shotgun formation with Wilson beside him, running a little zone read option there. Males faking, heading off that left side, had a big hole. Now we may understand where that hole came from as the officials right there. The Wildcats catch a break as a very explosive play by the Indians is called back now.
So it'll take it back to the 32-yard line, which is back close to where the Indians started this drive, and it'll bring up first down and 15 with 8:55 left to play in the first half. Seneca leading 14-7. The ball snapped to Males again, and another flag comes out. And now we've got a false start against the Indians, and that's going to back them up 5 more yards.
Indians running that zone read. Looks like a package they put in with Males in the shotgun formation. Oftentimes you'll see when you have a different person calling the cadence in the backfield, it's not the same tempo and rhythm. It can cause the offense to false start occasionally, and we saw it right there.
So back-to-back penalties against the Indians. And it'll bring up first down and 20 now. They need to get into Cassville territory to pick up a first down.
Well, Wildcats have they've got to take advantage of this. That defense got to take advantage of first and forever and get that football back.
And Seneca calls for a timeout with 8:55 left to go here before halftime. The timeout on the field brought to you by Superior Metal. If you're looking for a steel building, shop, or roof that will defend against the elements, look no further than Superior Metal Sales, Highway 76 south of Cassville. Seneca jumped out to an early 14-0 lead, but a long touchdown pass from Bates to Preddy has cut the lead in half. It's 14-7. Wildcats trailing by a touchdown here, not quite halfway through the second quarter. The winner moves on to the Class 3 quarterfinals a week from Saturday. And depending on who wins tonight and who wins in the District 5 title game between Blair Oaks and Buffalo, that will determine where that game will be played.
And the Buffalo-Blair Oaks game, the last score we had in the second quarter, tied at 7.
I think for Cassville, if I looked at things right, and I hadn't confirmed with Coach Parnell, it doesn't matter what happens between Blair Oaks and Buffalo. Cassville's going on the road. But if Seneca would happen to win, then there's some needed clarity from that game as to where Seneca and the winner of that game will be playing. On first down and long, Trey Wilson gets the handoff from Monty Males, and Wilson stumbling, bumbling, rumbling out across the 40 all the way out to the 46-yard line. Picks up a little over a half of the yardage needed to pick up a first down.
Yep, just powering off that left side.
Yeah, every once in a while, he just turns into a bowling ball. He just is like, keeps those legs moving, and he's turning and twisting and spinning and just keeps pushing down the field.
Can be very difficult to tackle. We saw right there, and a big play on a 1st and 20.
Wilson now 57 yards here in the first half. And it brings up a second down and 5. They snap the ball to Males again, and Males with a quick run right up the field, and he picks up the first down. Into Cassville territory, down to the Wildcat 47.
Yeah, just a direct snap. Males downhill, this time off the right side. The offensive line of the Indians getting a big push up front right now. And they gobble up that 20 yards in 2 plays with 2 run plays.
So 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. Seneca with a 14-7 lead. Indians with the ball in Cassville territory at the Wildcat 47, first down. They put Stevens back in under center now. And he fakes the handoff and is going to run to the short side of the field. DJ White comes up, and he and Bowen Preddy make the stop at the 45-yard line for a gain of 2.
Yeah, nice job there. Nice read on the play, the corner. White. Preddy played safety a lot this season. Wildcats lack a little more speed at the linebacker position. And to be totally honest, the play of Cade Hayward able to come in and do a great job at that free safety position, allowing Preddy to move up and get in that linebacking core.
So second down and a long 8. Indians unbalanced to the left. They've got 3 backs in the backfield. Now they bring one of those into motion. Resets to the right side. Stevens gives off into the hands of Males. Males spins off first contact and forces his way down to the 41-yard line. They say his knee may have went down at the 42. We'll see where they spot the ball. And it looks like they are going to put it at the 42 for a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, just a really nice read there by Jacob Olberts, linebacker, stepping right up in the hole, meeting Wilson right head on. Wilson, again, strong, able to spin and get some positive yardage out of the play.
So 3rd down and 5 for the Indians. Wilson gets the handoff from Stevens, and Wilson this time has stood up at the 40-yard line and driven back. He will not pick up the 1st down. In fact, he only gets about a yard on the carry, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Again, Olberts, first man there, nice read. And a good play defensively, bringing up 4th down. We'll see what the Indians want to do here.
Well, they went for it on 4th and 1 and converted that, but this one's a 4th and about 3.5. The ball is at the Cassville 41-yard line. Indians leading 14-7, and right now it appears that they are going to go for it. They've got twin receivers right and left, and now Cassville has to use a timeout. And the timeout on the field brought to you by Superior Metal Sales. You can see them for any of your roofing and storage shed needs. They're located on Highway 76 south of Cassville. Now, we've seen that formation when they played Seneca the first time. They'd send 2 receivers each side, but they do a lot of different things out of that. They run the ball, they throw the ball, they run some. We saw a screen pass out of that one time. So Coach Parnell is going to talk to his defense and make sure everyone is on the same page here.
Yeah, big 4th down in this game. 6 minutes until halftime here. Wildcats with a great opportunity right here to get the football back with pretty good field position and get that offense on the field with a chance to try to get something done here before halftime.
So 4th and a long 3 for the Indians. They need to get down to the 37-yard line of the Wildcats to pick up a 1st down.
Got to be disciplined here on that defensive line. Watch that football.
Stevens from the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers each direction. And a high snap, and he's going to do the little pooch kick, and it's high in the air and short. Bounces at the 20, takes a Seneca roll inside the 15, and is dead down around the 13.
Could almost see that coming. 4th and 4 in that position on the field. This time in the game, Wildcats kind of catch a break on where that ball ended up. It really didn't get a good roll for the Indians. Wildcats aren't going to start this drive with their backs right up against the wall. They've got a little room to work with now.
28-yard kick, no return, and the Wildcats will take over at their own 13-yard line with 5:50 left to go here in the first half. Seneca with a 14-7 lead. Bates with the I formation gives to the tailback Preddy. Right up the middle he comes, and he is stacked up as he gets out to the 16-yard line. May have got to the 17 before his forward progress was stopped. And it looks like they're going to put him down at the 16 for a gain of 3.
Yeah, short gain there. Like to see a little more success on 1st down. But you're going up against a pretty good defense right here. Big, strong defensive linemen, linebackers that move well.
Yeah, and then you've got Grant Durham that's 300 pounds up there.
Exactly. He's hard to move anywhere.
He is. Bates this time looking to throw, and they're going to run the hitch and pitch. Cooper flips it back to Preddy. Preddy's down the sidelines. He's at the 40, at the 50, runs by the defensive back, and he is gone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Bowen Preddy just simply run by the cornerback and then ran by the safety and takes it to the south end zone for a score.
Outran the angle, Sammy. A couple of Seneca defenders had an angle on Preddy when he took that pitch from Cooper down the Seneca sideline, just turned on those jets and outran the angles. What a play call. Great play call right there in this part of the football field, and great execution. Huge touchdown for the Wildcats.
Drake Reese will try to tie it up. The snap back, ball down, the kick is away, and it is good. And we're knotted up at 14 with 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. The Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance. One of the area's oldest businesses, established in 1887, conveniently located on the square in Cassville and in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shellknob. Call 847-3300 in Cassville or 858-3747 in Shellknob. Willis Insurance, your trusted choice insurance agent. Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by Crowder College. Find out more online, crowder.edu. Well, two big pass plays has got the Wildcats back into this one. An 84-yard touchdown strike on the hitch and pitch from Bates to Cooper to Preddy. And they've run that before this year, too, and very successfully.
And that's the dynamic, Sammy, that the Wildcats did not have in the first meeting against the Indians. They did not have that speed of Bowen Preddy coming out of that backfield, catching passes. And it certainly makes a difference in this Wildcat offense. Great execution. The timing has to be just right spot on. The ball delivered right on time by Bates to Cooper, and Cooper has to catch the football, knowing he may get hit, and make a great pitch, and the Wildcats executed perfectly.
Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. And Reese puts this one about 8 yards deep, and it will be a touchback for the Indians. So Seneca will take over at their own 20 with 5 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Well, we've got a new ball game. 14-14 here, 5 minutes to go until halftime. Wildcats have scratched back to tie this one up. And I told you I thought it was going to be a good football game tonight, Sammy, and we're seeing one right now.
We've seen a lot of fireworks already,
Absolutely.
too. We've only played a quarter and a half.
Big plays on both sides.
So it's a brand new ball game, 14-all here, midway through the second quarter, and the Indians with possession at their own 20-yard line. Seneca has scored twice and had to punt twice. This is their 5th possession of the half. They've definitely had the ball more than Cassville here in the first 2 quarters. And on first down, they give the ball to Trey Wilson, and Wilson powers his way right up the middle, takes it out to the 24-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Well, the Wildcats right here, they want to make sure they keep the Indians in front of them. Don't allow Wilson or Males to get a step, get to the edge, and get behind the defense. You don't want to give up big plays from this part of the football field at this point in the game.
Armstrong, the lone receiver, comes out wide to the left. Cassville shifting around on the offensive front. They go with a 5-man front this time and a split backfield behind Stevens. Stevens hands off to the first man through. They fake the option, and they carry the ball on the ground around the right end. And a great surge by the offensive line, and then a good run by Males as he is able to take it across the 30 and pick up a first down. He takes it all the way out to the 33-yard line.
Males runs a lot bigger than 167, doesn't he? He got right behind that offensive line. As you said, just a huge push on that right side. Males runs the ball very hard.
It's a gain of 9. Males unofficially 134 yards here in the first half on 14 carries. This time they go with the end around. They try to pitch it to Males. The ball is loose. A scramble back at the 20. It's picked up by Pryor. He takes it inside the 10 and is dropped down at the 5.
I'm not sure. Little reverse action. Not sure. It almost looked like Males was trying to set up to throw that football, and the ball just slipped out. Great play by Pryor. Pryor actually trying to scoop and score right there, putting the Wildcats in unbelievable position to start this drive. We're just getting ready to talk about the Wildcats and the turnover margin. They're able to pick one up right here. Now they've got to make the Indians pay.
They spot the ball down at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Cassville. This drive into the red zone brought to you by Roark Diesel. Find them online at roarkdiesel.com. Bates with the I formation, gives the ball to Preddy, runs in behind Kanan, trying to fight his way to the goal line. And he gets a yard, maybe 2 at the most. The one side judge is saying only a yard, and that looks like all they're going to give him, down to the 3, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, no need to hurry right now. Use all the clock you can as Wildcats taking their time getting a play into the quarterback Bates. They're going to run this clock down, try to eat as much of this half as they can.
Roark Diesel's been providing Cassville and surrounding area with a huge selection of diesel performance products. You can give them a call at 847-6560. 3 minutes left to play here in the first half. Bates this time And another carry, this time off right tackle. And Seneca's defense stiffens as Jericho Ferris got the football, but he is able to pick up only, well, it looks like they're going to give him no gain. I thought they may have given him the 2, but they put it right back down at the 3, and it's going to bring up 3rd and goal.
Now it gets interesting, Sammy. You've got to get the ball in the end zone right here.
Take advantage of this turnover and make it hurt. We've talked about that all year long. Bates this time going to run the ball himself, spins around. Seneca right there in his way, and he loses a yard back to the 4. Boy, did the Indians have that one read.
Yeah, Wildcats trying to line up with that big package and power over the Indians. They're just not able to do it. It looks like the Wildcats going to elect to go with the field goal attempt right here.
Reese is putting the tee down at the 11-yard line, so a 21-yard field goal attempt for Drake Reese. Cassville had it 1st and goal at the 4 and could only gain a yard. Snap back ball down, the kick is up from the right hash, and it is good. And for the first time tonight, Cassville is on top as they take the lead 17-14 with 1:46 left to go in the first half.
Well, Wildcats able to get points. But I got to give the win to the Indians right there as their defense came up huge, keeping the Wildcats out of the end zone. Man, you really like to get in the end zone when you've got the ball way down there after a turnover. And the Indians just manned up and did not let the Wildcats run over them. Almost kind of like.
And you hate to see the deja vu all over again, but they did that to Cassville over at Seneca.
Really
Cassville had the ball inside the 10 and did not score, and that was in the first half.
Well, and the Wildcats have had a lot of success with that big Rhino package, running over people. Situation, when you've got a massive offensive or defensive line like the Indians, you might excuse me, you might think about spreading them out a little bit and trying to gash them that way. But the Indians, boy, they held strong right there, kept the Wildcats out of the end zone. Nice job by Reese to come in and kick that field goal to give the Wildcats a lead here.
He'll be kicking off now. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash with the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Baywash Car Wash in Cassville. Reese puts a right leg into it. It's a squib kick down the middle of the field, scooped up at the 30-yard line by Dylan Myers. And Myers returns it out across the 40. And the Indians are going to have decent field position here with a 1:41 left to go before halftime. Looks like they're going to put it down at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, tough football to pick up right there. Just a shot. A couple of bounces. Up man able to field it. A lot of times you see a ball like that ricochet right off a shoulder pad or something, but Indians able to maintain possession of it.
So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stevens from the shotgun, pressure coming. He steps up in the pocket, fires to the first down marker over on the Seneca sideline, and the catch is made over there by Sebastian Middick, a junior wide receiver. And boy, that one's right there at the first down marker. We'll see if they give him.
They do.
They do. That'll be 10 first downs for the Indians. So 1st and 10 Seneca, the ball in Cassville territory now with 1:20 left to go before halftime. They're going to run the ball. They pitch it out to Wilson. Wilson's got a big hole around the left end, and he has taken it to the house. Trey Wilson got a great kick-out block at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats, and once he got to the sidelines, he was gone.
Yeah, 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. The defense really spread out, and all 3 of those receivers picked up a Wildcat defender, engaged, locked him up. Wilson around that left edge, a lot of speed down the Wildcat sideline. Big play touchdown. 1:11 to go to halftime, and Indians take the lead right back.
And with that carry, Trey Wilson now over 100 yards rushing here in the first half, and he gets his first rushing touchdown of the night. Braden Thiel in to attempt the extra point, and the kick is off the side of his foot and no good. Well, he had a bad snap the prior extra point try, and he was able to keep his focus. That time the snap was pretty good, but the ball came off the side of his foot, so the extra point try is unsuccessful. And with 1:11 left to go before halftime, Seneca back on top, 20-17 over the Wildcats.
Big plays all over the field tonight, Sammy, from both teams. Big pass plays from the Wildcats, big running plays from the Indians. We talked in the pregame, keys to victory for the Wildcats. They had to find a way to stop or slow down Males and Wilson. They've not been able to do it here in the first half. Tons of yards out of that Seneca backfield.
Yeah, they've got more yards here in the first half than they had in the whole game down at Seneca.
Right.
A 48-yard touchdown run by Trey Wilson gives the lead back to the Indians. Now Cassville with 1:11 took Seneca only 2 plays to go the 58 yards and score. And only about 25 seconds off the clock. So
yep, plenty of time, I mean, for the Wildcats to make something happen here heading into halftime. Again, you've got the leg of Drake Reese as well. But we'll see here what the Wildcats are able to do with the football. A minute to go.
Field this time with a more traditional look, but they go with the onside kick, and up to cover the football is Cade Hayward. And Cassville's going to get the ball in Seneca territory at the Indian 45. What a job by Hayward.
Indians trying the onside kick. Hayward right on the ball. Headsy play. Dove on the bounding football. That is a huge play right there by Cade Hayward. And the Wildcats, 1:11 to go here with the football in Seneca territory. Great opportunity here to get points on the board again.
Well, they spot him at the 47, but still on the Seneca side of midfield. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Bates looks underneath. He's got DJ White. The pass is complete, but White is covered up quickly by Skylar Commons. And the big man, the defensive tackle, does a good job of collapsing on White after a pickup of only a yard.
They're trying a little bubble screen right there to White. Defended pretty well by the Indians. Wildcats, as the clock continues to run, need to pick up the pace a little bit here.
2nd down and 9. High formation, Kanan and Ferris. They give the ball to Ferris. Ferris up the middle he goes. He had a hole for a minute, and he takes it down to the 40-yard line, but then he is wrapped up by Nick Aerosmith. And Cassville's going to have to use a timeout. Stops the clock with 32.5 seconds left to go before the break.
A good run there by Ferris, straight ahead. Spinning, running hard, in traffic.
Timeout on the field brought to you by Superior Metal. If you're looking for a roof or storage shed needs, maybe you're needing a steel building for your farm or ranch, check out Superior Metals, Highway 76 south of Cassville. Yeah, for a minute there, it looked like the Red Sea had parted, but just as quickly as that hole had opened, it closed. But Ferris was able to pick up 5 yards.
Yeah. Now 3rd down, about 4 here for the Wildcats. 32 seconds to go. You want to pick up this 1st down. Still, Wildcats still have a timeout remaining. So what you're probably seeing over here during this timeout, they've probably got 2 plays called in a row. So Wildcats can run this play, hustle up, and run the next play.
Cooper and White both come to the right side of the field. They split Ferris and Kanan behind Bates. And now there is a whistle. Seneca saying someone for Cassville moved. The officials are going to get together and talk it over. The umpire, the side judge, and the referee discussing things out in the middle of the field. And now we get the official call from the referee, and they're going to wave off the flag.
That's interesting. Interesting call, number 1, and to wave it off, number 2.
Now the referee's got to go talk to the head coach, Ryan McFarland, and the umpire had set the ball, and the referees turn around and say, hey, I'm not even out on the field. What are you doing? So Cassville had started to run a play, but they could not because the entire officiating crew was not in position. So now the referee is back from the sidelines after explaining what happened to the Seneca coach. And it'll be Cassville football, 3rd down and 4 from the Seneca 41. 32 seconds left before halftime. Indians leading the Wildcats 20-17. Bates is going to run the option, pitches it back to Ferris. Ferris has a blocker in front, trying to get to the sidelines, and is forced out of bounds, but he only picks up a yard.
Yeah, good defense there by the Indians, forcing Ferris all the way to the sideline. able to pick up just a little on the play. Fair's not able to get to that edge and get turned. So we've got a 4th down here, 27 seconds to go.
Yeah, he got half of the 2 things he needed to do.
Yeah.
He needed to get out of bounds to stop the clock, but he also needed 3 yards, and he only got 1. So it's 4th down and short now. The ball at the Seneca 40-yard line. And Reese right now lining up to punt the football.
Now we've seen Reese throw the football, Sammy, last week, reverse pass.
Yeah, Seneca is not 100% sure. Now they're going to drop Monty Males back because there for a while the Indians weren't really convinced that Cassville was going to punt the football. They had everyone up on the line of scrimmage, but then Males started to drop back, but now Cassville calls a timeout.
Cassville calling a timeout here. I don't know if it's personnel issue or what, but they're forced to use their final timeout, which may take away the, I don't know, looks like the Wildcats going to go for it right now.
Yeah, they're rethinking things. 4th down and about 2.5 yards to go.
Reese went out in punt formation. Now after the timeout, you know what, let's go for it. Reese, stay over here. Wildcats going to go for it right here.
26 seconds left to go before halftime, and the 2 coaches playing a little chess match right now. So split backfield, Kanan and Preddy. Seneca showing blitz. Here they come from the right edge. Bates is going to hand the ball off. They do almost like a little fumble rooski to Preddy, and Preddy around the right end. As the play went left, Preddy stays put, comes back to the right, and picks up the 1st down at the 32-yard line, but now they're going to have to hurry up to the line of scrimmage and spike the football to stop the clock, and they get it done with 15 seconds left to go before the half.
Nice job. Good play call right there. That's a tough play. If you're the one getting that handoff, that's a tough play to sit and be patient and wait. As Preddy crept up behind the line of scrimmage and just kind of hunched down, hunkered over. As Bates took the flow of the play to the left, he stuck it in Preddy's belly. Preddy's not going to take off immediately. He's got to sit there, be patient, and wait, and then cut back against the grain. Indians defended it pretty well. Even though the Wildcats get the 1st down, could have been a big, big play. Discipline on the backside there for the Indians.
So 2nd down and 10 now for Cassville. Cooper and DJ White go wide to the left. They bring the tight end Killian Barbie around that way, and they pitch the ball to Preddy. Preddy's got Kanan leading the way. Has to make a cutback as Seneca stops it from getting to the sidelines, and then a flag comes out over from the Seneca sideline as well. The clock stopped with 8 seconds left to go in the half, and we've got all kinds of things going over there on the far hash. We'll see what the officiating crew can sort out, and they're going to call a hold against Cassville.
The Wildcats are going to have to clock it again to have an opportunity to make a throw to the end zone here. So the Wildcats get up on the football. As soon as that clock starts, Bates will get the snap and clock it. They've taken themselves out of field goal range.
Yeah, because that's moved the ball back to the 43-yard line. So he does spike the football. And the clock stopped with 7.3 seconds remaining before halftime. By the way, that previous Cassville 1st down brought to you as always by Cassville Sears Hometown Store. They've got refrigerators, freezers, cooking appliances, washers, dryers, dishwashers, tools, hardware, lawnmowers, and much more. 99 Highway 37 South in Cassville. Locally owned and operated, your appliance store right here in Cassville. So 3rd down and a bundle. This may be the final play of the 1st half. Bates looking to throw, steps back and lets one fly. It flutters on him a little bit, and it falls incomplete. Brett Cooper was back there with 2 Seneca defenders, and it looks like that will be the final play, or is it? They're wanting to put some time back on the clock, I believe. Seneca's starting to head to the locker room, but the officials say put some time back on the clock, 0.7 of a second. So Cassville will have one more chance here on 4th down. This will be the final play. Bates kind of had to throw that ball off his back foot as he had a defender coming in on him, but came up a little short. So we'll see what happens here. Right now they're looking like they're just going to snap it and get into the locker room. That's what's going to happen. Not going to mess around here with 7/10 of a second remaining. So we have reached intermission here at Wildcat Stadium as they head to the locker room. Seneca leads Cassville 20-17. And we will take a break and be back with the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. You're listening to Class 3 District 6 football here on the Talon Sports Network. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back here at Cassville. We are at halftime. The Seneca Indians lead the Cassville Wildcats 20-17. Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Shoemaker Tire, family-owned and operated. Shoemaker Tire in Golden, Missouri, has been serving customers in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas since 1961. Call 417-271-3490 or go online shoemakertire.com. Looking at the scoring summary from the first half, Seneca got on the board first. 8:42 left to go in the first quarter. Quarterback keeper from 1 yard out by Lance Stevens. The extra point gave the Indians the early 7-0 lead. They would add to that lead early in the second quarter. 11:19 left to go in the first half. A 7-yard run from Monty Males as Males gets his first touchdown of the night, and that made it 14-0 Indians. Then Cassville cuts the lead in half. 10:22 left to go in the second quarter. A 51-yard pass from Devin Bates to Bowen Preddy. PAT by Drake Reese made it 14-7. And then Cassville would pull even on a hitch and pitch, 84 yards. Bates to Cooper to Preddy, and the Wildcats get the PAT from Reese, and it's 14-14. Cassville would take their first lead of the night with 1:46 left to go in the half on a 21-yard field goal from Drake Reese. But then Seneca would counter with less than a minute and a half to go in the first half on a 48-yard run from Trey Wilson, and the Indians lead it 20-17 here at the half.
Yeah, Indians going with the lead. I got to feel like the Wildcats may have left a couple of scores on the field. We noticed in the first quarter situation on a pass play where the ball was thrown kind of on a line. Put a little air under that, let Preddy go run underneath it. Maybe that turns out a little bit differently. And then certainly on the big turnover, big fumble recovery and return by Austin Pryor, running the football deep into Indian territory. Wildcats have the ball at the 4-yard line, unable to get in the end zone. They were able to get points out of it. But a situation like that, you really need to find your way into the end zone. The Indians hold, force the Wildcats to kick the field goal. Then the Indians on another big play from midfield able to score and take the lead. However, they missed their extra point. It's a 3-point ball game. Wildcats going to get the football coming out after halftime.
Winner of this game will play the winner of the Class 3 District 5 championship game between Buffalo and Blair Oaks in the quarterfinals next Saturday. And right now they are at halftime. Buffalo and Blair Oaks all tied up at 7 points apiece. Lamar in Class 2 District 4 is at halftime at Fair Grove. Lamar leading Fair Grove 14-13. And Pierce City in Class 1 District 2 is at Thayer tonight in a battle of the top three teams. Pierce City's ranked number 2, Thayer number 3 in the state. And Pierce City and Thayer all tied at 7 at halftime. So this is not the only close game tonight here on District Championship night.
Yeah, a lot of parity in this point in the season. Blair Oaks usually up by 30, 40, 50 points by this point. Buffalo, good ball club this year, hanging right with them up at Blair Oaks. So, yeah, a lot of great ball games going on. We've got one going on right here as well.
Seneca leads 20-17 here at the half over the Wildcats. Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Shoemaker Tire, a name you can count on for tires. They've been doing it since 1961. Mark and the gang will have you up and running when you need a new set of tires in no time flat, or just when you have no time for a flat. Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. We're going to step aside, let you hear some more from our sponsors. Be back with some of the numbers from the first 2 quarters of play here tonight from Cassville. You're listening to District Championship Football here on the Talon Network. Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life's values, your friends at the Talent Sports Network and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri. Tonight's sportsmanship reminder also brought to you by Access Family Care. 20-17, Seneca leading Cassville here at halftime. Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Shoemaker Tire, people you can trust for tires. Find them on Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. You can also find them online at shoemakertire.com or give them a call, 417-271-3490. Looking at the stats from the first half, Seneca leading the way on the ground with 33 carries for 247 yards. They completed 2 of 3 passes for 11 yards for a total of 258 yards of offense. Indians picked up 10 first downs. They turned it over once on a fumble. They were penalized 3 times for 20 yards and punted twice for a 28-yard average. Cassville held to just 30 yards on the ground in the first half on 11 carries. They were 3 of 6 through the air for 136 yards for a total of 166 yards of offense. Wildcats with only 4 first downs. They had 1 turnover on the fumbled punt. They were penalized once for 10 yards and punted once for 30 yards. Individual numbers from the first half. Monty Mayles leading the way. He's got 134 yards and a touchdown on 14 carries. Trey Wilson, his cohort in the backfield, 110 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown. And Lance Stevens has 3 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown. Mayles also has 1 catch for a yard, and it was Sebastian Middick, 1 catch for 10 yards for the Indians. Cassville, their ground attack led by Bowen Preddy, 15 yards on 4 carries. Bates has 7 yards. Kanan's been held to 2, and Ferris has been held to just 6, rushing the ball tonight. DJ White, 1 catch for a yard, but Bowen Preddy has 2 catches for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's been the difference in the ball game. At this point, Cassville's running game has been taken out here in the first half, but the 2 big pass completions from Bates to Preddy has kept them in the ball game.
Well, you look at the stat line, Sammy, and you would think this would be a lopsided football game. The Wildcats have been able to hang right in there. 3-point ball game right here. They've got to find a way to get their running game going. We know the Wildcats, they want to be able to run the football, and that to be successful, they feel like they need to be able to do that. 30 yards in the first half. Head coach Lance Parnell will tell you that's unacceptable. You've got to be able to run the football. Got to be physical up front and clear some lanes for these backs to hit. They've just had no running room whatsoever. The ability the Wildcats have to throw the football, as you said, that's kept the Wildcats in this game. And we'll see some adjustments made here from both sides coming out of halftime. The Wildcats do get the football, so we'll see how the Wildcats respond coming out after halftime in a 20-17 football game.
Tonight's broadcast also brought to you in part by Sports World, 709 Main Street on the square in Cassville for screen printing and embroidery. Also sporting goods, trophies, and in-stock area school athletic clothing. You'll find it all at Sports World. Phone 847-5366. Both teams out of the locker room. We've got about 2 or 3 minutes before we start the second half. We'll take a break one more time and be back with the third quarter. You're listening to District Football here on the Talent Network. Jeremy Marple back here at Cassville. Todd Speakman alongside on CassvilleWebTV.com and streaming live video on YouTube. 20-17, Seneca leading Cassville as we get set to start the second half. The Wildcats will get possession of the football to start the third quarter. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company, where with over 15 years of experience, they specialize in new, used, and custom-built pallets. They're backing the Wildcats all the way. In God we trust is their motto. At J&M Pallet Company, phone 847-6732. That's 847-6732. Braden Thiel will tee it up. Be kicking off from our right to left. Cassville coming out of the north end zone. And a short kick bounding down the middle of the field. Drake Reese dives on it at the 37-yard line. That's where Cassville will start their first possession of the second half.
We'll see if the Wildcats are able to establish the running game here in the second half. 3-point ball game. The Wildcats really feel like to be successful, they've got to be able to run the football, and we'll see if they try to get that established here, start this third quarter.
Well, they've got Kanan and Preddy in the backfield, lined up in the I formation behind Devin Bates. Cooper to the left, DJ White split wide to the right. They give the ball to Kanan. Up the middle he goes. He bounces off one man, tries to bounce it outside, and is brought down at the 37-yard line, or excuse me, at the 38-yard line after a pickup of only one.
Yeah, this defensive line of the Indians, tough to deal with for this Wildcat offensive line. They're not, we say big, they're not big and tall like you see a lot of times out of a Lamar football team, but they are thick.
Yeah, because Durham's only 5'10" according to the roster, but he weighs 310 pounds.
Right. They're thick and strong.
And Commons is 6 foot, but he's over 250. So Cassville running the football on second down, and this time Kanan carries out just shy of the 45-yard line. Nice gain of about 5 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
And as we kind of predicted, the Wildcats come out, run the football, first and second down. Big third down here. The Wildcats would like to convert this.
At Cassville 0 for 3 on third down conversion tries back in the first half. Pair of receivers go wide to the left. And Bates is going to run the ball that way, takes it himself around the end. He's got the first down, breaks the tackle at the 50. He's out in the open. He's at the 40 and takes it down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, really nice job. Good read there by Bates. Faking to the fullback, got right around that left edge. Down the field he went. Made a couple of moves into the secondary before he's brought down. We saw him have some success on the option game a couple of times in the first half. Here to start this third quarter, great read and great run.
It's a gain of nearly 19 yards and a Cassville first down. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, your local destination for all your home appliance and mattress needs, as well as a great selection of lawn and garden products, 99 Highway 37 South in Cassville. First and 10 Wildcats at the 37-yard line of the Indians. Preddy gets the call, a big hole over the right side. He's inside the 30, spins off contact at the 25, takes it down to the 20, and another first down for Cassville.
Yeah, straight ahead with Preddy. Nice blocking up front. Preddy shooting through that line of scrimmage again into the secondary before he's brought down after a spin move. Another big first down. The Wildcats are moving.
A gain of 16 yards for Preddy. And a Wildcat first and 10. The Wildcat first down again brought to you by Cassville Sears Hometown Store. They offer a personalized shopping experience tailored to their community. Wildcats look to run the ball on first down inside the 20. Short gain this time. As the ball carrier moves it ahead, looks like they're going to put him down at the 16-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Yeah, Kanan, again, hasn't carried it a lot tonight. But as soon as he gets that football, boy, he's taking on a lot of contact.
That was only his 4th carry of the night for a total of 12 yards. Reese and White split out wide to the right side. Second down and along 7. And Kanan gets the ball and powers his way off right tackle. And he has stood up as he gets inside the 15. Takes it down to about the 12. He's able to gain 3 or 4 yards. And we've got a flag called against Cassville. It's thrown back at the line of scrimmage. That's going to take away a good run by Kanan. He was short of the first down, but it would have made it 3rd and short. And this is going to be a big penalty against Cassville.
A personal foul on the play.
They've got an illegal chop block, personal foul, so it will not be a 10-yard holding penalty. It'll be a 15-yard personal foul and take it all the way back to the 31-yard line.
Wow.
And that'll make it a second down and about 23 yards to go. 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Cassville trailing Seneca 20-17. The Indians with the 3-point lead. Costly penalty. And now a fumbled snap. Bates trying to pick it back up. A couple of Seneca players right there on top of him, but Bates is able to secure the football and avoid the turnover.
Yeah, just in the exchange between quarterback and center, the ball just went straight to the ground. Heads up play by Bates, fall on the football. But Wildcats are going to lose another down, third down, and a long way to go. Promising drive. Now the Wildcats find themselves in a little bit of trouble here.
So third down and a bundle. They need to get the ball down around the 15-yard or around the 10-yard line, that is, to pick up a first down. And Bates is looking that way, and he throws it out in front of DJ White, and it falls incomplete. White was inside of the cornerback, but the pass was thrown too far out in front of both of them, and it'll bring up fourth down.
White really the only receiver out in the route. Cooper had run a short route down near the line of scrimmage. White trying to run the post route. 2 or 3 Seneca defenders right there. They know where DJ White is for sure. And
they're going to hustle in with the tee.
Wow.
Play clock is down to 10 seconds. They're going to spot the tee down at the 38-yard line. So this is a 48-yard attempt. The snap is low. Bates gets it on the tee. It's got the distance. Does it have the accuracy? And it does. A 48-yard field goal for Drake Reese. And we are tied at 20. And that play did not look pretty. They were scrambling to get players on the field, get the tee set, get the snap back before the play clock expired. But it all ended up roses for the Wildcats as Reese kicks it through, and we're tied at 20.
Yeah, great job there, Reese. Kicking a long field goal early in the season against this Seneca football team. Now on a cold night here late in the season, November, 48-yarder. Great kick, strong leg, kicking on a cold night. And I think it was a situation where the holder, the quarterback for the Wildcats, thought at this point on the field, we're going to punt this. And he had come to the sideline. Reese is standing back there saying, hey, where's my holder?
Yeah.
And Bates came back on the field, and everything happened really quick after that. Reese was able to line it up a little bit, and, hey, snap it and let's go. Boom, right through the uprights, tie ball game.
Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic featuring custom wash technology, giving you the perfect wash every time. The Wildcat Field Goal brought to you by Crowder College. Find them online at crowder.edu. Reese drives this one into the end zone for another touchback. And the Indians will start at their own 20, their first possession of the third quarter.
Well, tie ball game once again, Sammy. A new ball game, 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The fans are getting their money's worth tonight.
7:56 left to go, third quarter of play. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. They repair used pallets, build and design new and custom pallets. During this game and the games to come, Jeff reminds team members that through God, all things are possible. Phone J&M Pallet Company, 847-6732. Indians, first snap of the second half. Stevens pitches the ball out wide to Males, and Males races his way around the right end, and it's upended just shy of the 30-yard line, but a big pickup on first down. It's a gain of 8, and it'll bring up second down and 2.
Yeah, the Indians do a good job in that option game of getting Males the ball most of the time in the option game, getting him the ball as he's heading downfield. That's no exception on that play there, as Stevens did a good job getting deep. Males was deep, pitched the football. Males coming straight downhill. Good gain on first down.
Indians go unbalanced to the right side, the short side of the field, as Stevens letting the play clock run down just a little bit. Now he takes a snap, runs the option to the short side, wanted to pitch, and then pulls it back, and then he's got nowhere to go. He probably would have been better off to go ahead and pitch the football, but he second-guessed himself and ends up, looks like he's going to lose some yardage.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to pitch a football, but they ran the option to the short side of the field, and they had gotten way over there. By the time he decided to pitch, may have been a situation where he pitches the football and his running back's already at the sideline. But Wildcats right there pinching that short side of the field. Good play, and brings up a big third down here.
Yeah, they end up shoving him out of bounds. It's a loss of nearly 6 yards back to the 25-yard line. Third down and long now. And here come the Indians running straight up the middle. And Cassville's defense is right there as they wrap up Stevens. He faked the handoff and then was going to run in behind the running back, and Cassville was having none of it as another big stop there by Jaden Rybert.
Yeah, good job, Rybert. Also, Jacob Hall in on that play. Both defensive linemen able to get around the ball carrier and bring him down. A huge play on third down. Wildcats look to get the football back here.
A high snap, and the kick is away on the punt. And it is hauled in by DJ White right around the 50-yard line, so Cassville going to get good field position.
Yeah, really nice job. White had to come upfield 10 or 11 yards to catch that football. The last second he was able to put his hand in the air. Did call for the fair catch, but he caught it in traffic. And that's a tough thing, but you're glad when your punt return man can go upfield and catch that football and not give it any chance for a roll.
Ends up being only a 26-yard kick. Wildcats will have it at the Seneca 49-yard line. Up the middle goes Bowen Preddy, and he dives down to close to the 40-yard line. A big gain on first down.
Yeah, nice job. I formation. Preddy following behind that fullback, got through the line of scrimmage. Good play, good gain on first down. Wildcats started the quarter with a good drive, gashing this Indian defense on the ground. Started again right here.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll bring up second down and 2. Kanan now gets the handoff from Bates. And Kanan taking on contact, powers his way down to the 35-yard line, hit hard right when he got to the 35, but he hangs onto the football and picks up another first down.
Yeah, nice job. Power running by Kanan, getting behind those pads. Downhill he goes. Another first down straight at the Indian defense.
So it was a gain of 6. Kanan now has 18 yards on 5 carries. First down for the Wildcats, brought to you by Cassville Sears Hometown Store, 99 Highway 37 South. Preddy now bounces off a guy in the backfield and turns what looked to be a negative into a little bit of a positive as he moves inside the 35 down to the 33.
Yeah, it's tough as a running back. You don't like to get that handoff and immediately run into the back of one of your linemen. But Preddy was able to maintain balance, bounce off of that, and gain something positive out of the play.
So second down and 7 with 4.5 left to go here in the third quarter. Game tied at 20. Cassville's put the only points on the board so far here in the second half. A 48-yard field goal by Drake Reese. They pitch the ball to Preddy, gives on the end around to Reese. Here comes Reese. He's got the edge. He's at the 30, takes on contact at the 25, and is finally knocked out of bounds down around the 20-yard line. We'll see where they spot him out of play as our view was obscured a little bit by the bench. But it looked like he was able to pick up enough yardage for the first down. We'll wait for the official spot. They say he stepped on the sidelines at the 24 after a gain of 8, and it will be a Wildcat first down. Brought to you by Cassville Sears Hometown Store. Brand name appliances like Kenmore, Samsung, LG, Whirlpool, and GE. They're located 99 Highway 37 South in Cassville. So a gain of 8 for Reese, and Cassville going to run the ball again. A quick hitter off left tackle by Zach Kanan. And he will take it down to the 19-yard line for a pickup of 5 yards, and it'll bring up second down and 5.
Well, the Wildcats throwing a lot at the Indians right here. End arounds, power football.
They give it to Kanan again. He breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's at the 10, makes a cutback at the 5, dives to the end zone, and we've got a touchdown, Cassville.
Kanan having all kinds of trouble finding running room through the first 2.5 quarters of this game right here. Straight at the defense, able to shake off some contact into the secondary, took a shot below the waist, right around the thighs, able to maintain balance and dive across the goal line. Great hard run that time by Kanan, and another big touchdown for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it happened so quickly, the officials hadn't even got down to the goal line to signal touchdown. We had to wait a little bit for that official signal, but Canaan does take it in. The Wildcats back on top. Now the extra point by Reese, and it is good. The Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance. If you're at the lake, come by and see the folks at Willis Insurance in Shell Knob in the Bridgeway Plaza for auto, home, health, life, and commercial insurance. Phone their Shell Knob location at 858-3747. And the Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by Crowder College with a satellite campus in Cassville. For class and enrollment information, go online, crowder.edu. 19 yards for Canaan and a touchdown for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats have come out here in the third quarter. And as we talked about it at halftime, the Wildcats needed to run the football in this game. And I tell you what, here in the third quarter, the offensive line, much better job. Running backs able to find some room to work. And Wildcats are running the football, Sammy. Now they got the lead back.
Yeah, Canaan went from only 9 yards at halftime. He's got 42 yards total now and a touchdown. Preddy's up to 43 yards after having only 7 yards at the break. Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. At Baywash, a clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Cassville on top, 27-20 with 3:41 left to go third quarter. Drake Reese boots this one high, but this one's going to be returnable. And Monty Males takes it in at the 7-yard line. He'll run in behind Trey Wilson, out across the 15, across the 20, and then he is swarmed under before he can get to the 25.
Yeah, good job in coverage there. Shorter kick, but high kick, which allowed that coverage unit to get downfield. And I believe Drake Reese, the kicker, may have made the play. He comes up off the bottom of that pile. So Males dangerous with the ball in his hands. The Wildcats take care of him in the return game here.
Seneca takes over at their own 23-yard line. Twin receivers in a slot go to the right side. Stevens from the shotgun. Actually, that was Males back there at quarterback this time as they stick Monty Males in the backfield. He gives the ball to Wilson. And Wilson tries a counter play, but is stopped at the 25 if he got to the 25. Looks like they're going to spot him just short of the 25, so a gain of only a yard.
Well, we saw the Indians run this offense, Males and Wilson, in kind of a zone read package. Saw them running the first half with some success. Wildcats do a pretty good job with it that play.
They take the same formation once again, 2nd down and 9. This time Males is going to keep the football. Takes on contact at the 25 and fights his way ahead for a pickup of only a yard, maybe 2 at the most. And it'll bring up 3rd down and long as this Cassville defense now is fired up after what their offense has been able to do so far here in the second half.
Yeah, really good play on that edge. As I believe that was Pryor. Yes, Pryor was able to get to Males. Also, Jericho Ferris from that safety position flying up there to help out on the tackle.
So 3rd down and 7 for Seneca inside their own 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 26. 2:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Rapidly played third quarter. Cassville leading by 7. Big 3rd down play here for the Cassville defense. They get to the ball carrier, but he breaks free, and he breaks free a second time and picks up a 1st down. And, boy, that has been the MO for Trey Wilson. He has been a hard man to tackle. He broke free once after picking up a short couple of yards, and then he breaks free a second time and picks up a 1st down out to the 45.
Yeah, Wildcats had him bottled up, Sammy. He's just so strong. He's able to run out of those tackles. Just a great individual effort there by Wilson. Break tackles and pick up a much-needed 1st down for the Indians. Wildcats got to be wishing they had that one back.
It's a gain of nearly 19 yards and a 1st down for the Indians. Now the snap goes to Males. Males trying to get a block from Wilson. Brings a cutback, and the ball is free at the 45-yard line. And there is a scramble for it. It looks like the Indians may have been able to recover. A big, hard hit put on the ball carrier Males by Pryor. The ball was jarred free, but the Indians were able to recover.
Yeah, direct snap to Males. He's trying to follow Wilson around that right edge. Pryor from the defensive end position, able to scrape down that line of scrimmage, put a shot on Males to jar the football loose. The Indians catch a break and fall on the ball. Great play there by Adam Pryor.
So no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10 from the 45-yard line. We're down to a minute 15 left to go third quarter. Cassville leading 27-20. District championship on the line between Seneca and Cassville. The winner moves on to the quarterfinals a week from tomorrow. Man comes in motion. Resets on the left side. Stevens now the quarterback. Gives the ball to Wilson, and he is tripped up at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a gain of only a couple. Zach Kanan got in there and got into the legs of Trey Wilson and drops him for a loss, or a gain of only a yard.
They run away from Andrew Pryor this time. Rybert over there and the linebacker Zach Kanan coming in to upend the ball carrier. Really nice job. Another big third down. Wildcats like to get the Indians off the field right here.
They couldn't get them off the field last time. They'll see what they can do this time. 3rd down and 9 from the Indian 46-yard line. Twin receivers to the right side. And Males fakes the pitch to Wilson. Keeps it himself, and he is going to be stopped short of the 50, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Once again, Andrew Pryor with his arms around the waist of the ball carrier had a little bit of help, but a great play on 3rd and long.
It's a gain of 3 for Males, but it'll bring up 4th down and nearly 6. And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. Cassville leading 27-20. We'll take a break and be right back. You're listening to District Football here on the Talent Network. Tonight's 4th quarter brought to you by the Barbecue Station, the best Texas-style barbecue served every day at 900 Main Street on the north side of the Cassville Square. They serve chicken, ribs, beef, and pork with sides and desserts. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 8. You can also call them for all your catering needs at 847-0470. So 4th down and 6 for the Indians. They trail by 7. First play of the 4th quarter. And the Indians are going unbalanced left, and they are lining up to go for it. The ball at their own 49-yard line. The snap goes to Stevens. He looks to the short side of the field, and the pass is broken up, incomplete. Brett Cooper there for the defense against Sebastian Middick, and the Wildcats take over on down.
Middick had run a good route there, and not a bad throw by Stevens, just better defense by Brett Cooper, able to come right over the top, not affect the receiver's ability to catch the football. Cooper's able to come over the top with the right hand and knock it away. Big play in this game.
So Cassville takes over at the Seneca 49-yard line. That's where they took over their last possession, and they drove down the field and scored. They lead by 7 early on here in the 4th quarter. Wildcats holding on downs. Devin Bates gives the ball up the middle to Kanan. Breaks the tackle. He's at the 45, dragging tacklers down to the 40-yard line. Still no whistle. Now we get a stoppage of play, but it's a pickup of 9 for Kanan.
Yeah, great job. Kanan taking all kinds of contact right at the line of scrimmage. Just pure strength right there, able to squirt through there. And a big gain on 1st down. This Wildcat offensive line doing a good job in the second half, blocking up front for these ball carriers.
So 2nd down and 9 for Cassville at the Seneca 40-yard line. And now the Indians are back on their heels a little bit. We'll see if the Cassville Wildcats can take advantage. They lead by 7, looking to add to that lead. Now we've got a whistle and a flag prior to the snap of the football. Line judge coming in from the far side. Someone either offsides or maybe movement. And it is going to be offsides against Cassville. 3rd flag against the Wildcats for a total of 30 yards.
Well, that's just, when you see that call, someone's just lining up off sides. Generally, that's coming, generally you'll see it as a receiver. The receivers will go out and they will look to the side judge. Hey, I'm on the line of scrimmage. Am I okay here? Generally, they will say, need to move back, or, yeah, you're fine. Typically not an offensive lineman lining up off sides.
So a 2nd and 1 turns into a 2nd down and 6. The ball moved back to the 45-yard line. Seneca showing blitz. Now they drop out of it. Bates gives the ball to Preddy. Preddy lowers the shoulder pads and drives straight ahead and takes it down to the 42-yard line.
They got some of it back. Good hard run. Preddy, both hands wrapped around that football, going hard off the right side.
It's a gain of 3 for Preddy. He's got unofficially now 46 yards on 8 carries. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Cassville is still yet to convert a 3rd down tonight. They've had difficulty with that. We'll see what happens here with 10 and a half left to go in the football game. The Wildcats leading by 7. Seneca nearly jumped off sides, and now Bates with the movement quickly checks to offensive coordinator Clay Weldy. Now they snap the football. Bates is going to keep it himself, and he is wrapped up and dropped for no gain on the play. Little jawing going on there by the Seneca player. But cooler heads prevail, and it brings up 4th down.
Seneca flying around the backside, able to get to Bates. Bates faking to his right, and then trying to cut back, turn around, and go back off the left side. Seneca came from the backside there, was able to get to Bates before he really had a chance to get downfield.
So 4th and 2 from the Seneca 41, and the Wildcats are going to send the kicking unit in. Drake Reese in to punt it away, and Monty Males will drop back inside his own 10. Cassville with a 7-point lead here with 9 and a half left to play, and now Reese is going to try to run for it. He's got the speed, he's got the corner, he's got the 1st down, taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, great play call right there to the wide side of the field. Reese, a hurdler on the track team, has got good speed, and we've seen it in a reverse, and now we see it as a fake punt. He took the snap. The Wildcats run that rugby style where he leaks out to the right anyway. This time sees a lot of space out ahead of him to the wide side of the field, races all the way to the Indian sideline, turns the corner. Big play. Good play call there.
1st down brought to you by Cassville Sears Hometown Store, your locally owned and operated appliance store at 99 Highway 37 South. A gain of 10 yards for Drake Reese. And a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the Seneca 31-yard line. They give the ball to Preddy. Up the middle he goes. Spins off contact, trying to get to the outside. And he's wrapped up and brought down after a pickup of a couple of yards. A linebacker for the Indians grabbed a hold of Preddy and would not let him go.
Yeah, Preddy wrapped up high. Another player came in low towards the legs. Don't like to see that. Looks like he's okay. What you're seeing out here too, though, Sammy, DJ White had a big game in week 4. Hadn't had a big impact in the passing game. What you're seeing, you're starting to see the Indians go with one-on-one coverage with him out here. Don't be surprised the Wildcats may not look his way at some point.
So 2nd down and long, nearly 8 yards to go for the Wildcats. And Bates pitches the ball to Preddy. Preddy inside the 25, and he is hit hard and hangs on once again after a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, physical football out there. Indians flying to the ball.
Well, they only give him the 26-yard line. They say that's where his knee went down. So a pickup of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
The Indians nearly blew up the play to start. Bates did a good job, able to get out of there and get the pitch off to Preddy. Preddy trying to use that speed to get to the sideline, and a couple of Indians were there to meet him.
So another big 3rd down play here for Cassville. Cooper and DJ White go wide to the right side. And we've got movement in the backfield. And a false start by the Wildcats will back them up 5 yards. Anticipating the snap count there, and one of the running backs moved, and it'll take it back to the 31 and bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, that's going to change your play call a little bit as Bates comes to the corner and gets a new play. We'll see what happens here, 3rd and 10.
Closing in on 8 minutes left to play in the football game. Cassville leading 27-20. Wildcats 3rd and 10 at the Seneca 30. Bates trying to throw back behind the play, and the catch is made by Bowen Preddy down at the 20-yard line, and that is going to be good for a Cassville 1st down. Preddy hangs on, diving through the air, and they spot him at the 18.
Well, we saw the Wildcats run that play last week unsuccessfully. Tonight, great catch by Preddy as he took contact in the air, catches the football, comes down with it. Another big 3rd down conversion for the Wildcats. Great play call, good execution there for the Wildcats.
Wildcat 1st down brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, the best quality brand name appliances, lawnmowers, fitness equipment, and much more. Come by and get to know them. 1st down for the Wildcats at the Seneca 18 after a gain of 13 yards on the pass completion to Preddy. They give the ball to Preddy. Right up the middle he goes. Runs into a wall of red and white, and it's driven back after a pickup of 2 down to the 16.
Well, I tell you, the play calling for the Wildcats been interesting tonight, Sammy. Clay Weldy's done a really good job of mixing things up and really keeping the Indians on their toes, mixing up the run and pass. The offensive line's done a much better job in the run blocking in this second half, which really opens everything up.
And this drive has been chewing up some clock on top of that. So 2nd down and 9 at the 16-yard line. We're under 7 minutes now left to play. Cassville leading by 7, 27-20. They give the ball to Kanan, and Kanan slips through and takes it inside the 15 down to about the 12. It's a gain of 4 more yards for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kanan nearly popping out the other side of that. The official's going to talk about something over on the Seneca sideline. I tell you, the Wildcats are able to score here, Sammy. Not necessarily a touchdown at this point in the game. If they're able to get points on the board, you've turned it into a 2-score game. We're about 6.5 minutes to go in this game right now. The Wildcats are able to get points on the board in this drive in some fashion. They really put the pressure on the Indians.
It'll bring up 3rd down once again for Cassville. 3rd down and 4. The line of scrimmage, the Seneca 12. Plenty of time on the play clock. Cassville comes up to the line of scrimmage. Reese is over here on the left sideline. DJ White goes wide to the right side.
One-on-one.
And Bates gives the ball to Kanan. Kanan off right tackle, spins back against the grain and takes it down to the 6-yard line.
Nice job.
Picks up the 1st down, and it'll be 1st and goal Cassville. The drive into the red zone brought to you by Roark Diesel. Since 2006, they've been providing a huge selection of diesel performance products to Cassville and surrounding area. Find them online at roarkdiesel.com. Call 847-6560.
Kanan getting hard yards off the right side, comes out of that pile fired up, waving to the crowd. Let's go. Good hard run there. Big 1st down. The Wildcats milking the clock now.
1st and goal Cassville at the 6. Under 6 minutes left to play. They lead by 7. They split the backfield. Bates taking time up to the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap with 3 seconds left on the play clock. Gives to Kanan again. Kanan hit as he receives the ball, but he slips that first tackle and slides down to the 5-yard line. May have got down to the 4. And they do give him the 4-yard line for a pickup of 2.
Well, we saw the Indians hold when the Cassville had the ball on the 4-yard line in the 2nd quarter. We'll see what the Wildcats do here offensively. Maybe try to spread the Indians out a little bit, not let everybody get in that box. So we'll see what happens. Wildcats got to find a way to get some points here.
2nd down and goal from the 4. This drive started back at midfield, but it's taken a lot of time off the clock to just move the ball 45 yards. Bates gives the ball to Kanan. Kanan sidesteps a defender at the line of scrimmage, but cannot get into the end zone. As he gets down to about the 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and goal. The ball placed down between the 3 and 4-yard line. 3rd and goal Cassville.
Again, Sammy, you got one of your top playmakers, one-on-one coverage down there on the wide side of the football field. We'll see what the Wildcats elect to do here.
On that play, they tried to catch Seneca being a little over-aggressive defensively, and the Indians stayed home back door. So now here it comes down to this. 3rd and goal from just outside the 3. Bates fakes the ball to Preddy, gives it to Kanan, and Kanan is stopped short of the goal line as it is put down at the 2.5-yard line, and it'll bring up 4th and goal. And it looks like the kicking tee is coming onto the field.
Well, hey, you like to get 6 points when you get in the red zone, no question about it. But as we just said a minute ago, the Wildcats, this is more or less an extra point right here. If Reese is able to kick this, now you got a 2-score football game, and then now you're under 4 minutes to go in the game. Now, with that being said, the Indians certainly have the ability to score quickly, but they're going to have to score twice now. And they've just used a timeout, so now 2 timeouts remaining. They can only stop it twice. Very important field goal opportunity right here, right in the middle of the field, basically an extra point. Could be the play of the game right here.
Yeah, he's going to put the tee down at the 8-yard line, so a 28-yard field goal attempt for Drake Reese. The field goal try brought to you by Crowder College. You can find them online at crowder.edu. So here we go. Bates checks with Reese. He says he's ready. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up. It is high, it is long, and it is good. And the Wildcats lead by 10.
Huge kick in this game. The Wildcats extend the lead to 2 possessions, 30-20. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this game. Big time play. What a football game we've seen tonight, Sammy.
And I correct myself, an 18-yard field goal attempt. The end zone's not 20 yards deep, it's only 10. And he was kicking from the 8, so it's a 30-20 lead now with 3:40 left to go.
Looks like it's a deep end zone in the Canadian League.
There
But,
you go.
I don't know that it's that deep, but
yeah.
Where we play, it's 10 yards.
Yeah,
so.
it's cold tonight, but we're not north of the border cold. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plays in that drive that took nearly 6 minutes off the clock.
Well, we talked about the Wildcats wanting to run the football. When you can run the football, you can put drives like that together. And kudos to that offensive line, these running backs, for taking over in the third quarter to start this second half. Still got a lot of ball game left, but they're doing a great job.
Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywatch Car Wash. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Baywatch Car Wash in Cassville, and the kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Now, we've seen big plays out of both teams tonight. This Wildcat defense, 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here. If there's ever been a time to avoid big plays, right here is the possession where this defense really needs to keep Males and Wilson in front. Don't let them break loose. No big plays right here.
Indians come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 20, now trailing by 10. Largest lead of the night for Cassville. Seneca had a 14-0 lead back in the first half. Twin receivers right and left. Stevens from the shotgun. Steps up into the pocket. Now the pocket collapses, and he's dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, great coverage. Great coverage in the secondary all the way across the field. Looked like Cooper running stride for stride with his man. Running deep was the safety, Jericho Ferris. The underneath route, DJ White, right on that Wildcat sideline, all over his man. Nowhere for Stevens to go with the ball. The defensive pressure closed around him, and a big sack.
So 2nd down and 15 now for the Indians. Stevens again from the shotgun. 4 receivers downfield. Steps up, avoids pressure. Now here comes a second wave, and he dropped him again back at the 13-yard line.
Big-time sack. Looked like Jacob Hall, the all-conference D lineman, able to bring Stevens down there. The Indians going to burn their second timeout. Great coverage by the Wildcat defense and pressure by the defensive line. Sammy, we've talked about it before. If you can get pressure with your down lineman, you can get guys out in coverage. That's what the Wildcats have done right here. Stevens looking to try to deliver the football, nowhere to go with it, and another big sack. Just under 3 minutes to go now in this football game.
Timeout on the field brought to you by Superior Metal. If you're looking for a steel building, shop, or roof that will defend against the elements, look no further than Superior Metal Sales, Highway 76. South of Cassville. Tonight's 4th quarter brought to you by the Barbecue Station, where one bite will put them at the top of your list of favorite places to eat. The Barbecue Station. Come on in and enjoy great barbecue. You can also call them for all your catering needs at 847-0470. Big 3rd down play here. 3rd down and 18 for the Indians.
Well, and you got to think this is 4 down. At this point in the game, the Indians are going to use all 4 downs to try to pick up the first. So Wildcats not out of the woods yet. Defense needs to stay hooked up here.
Low snap. Stevens pitches the ball back to Wilson. Wilson has the 20, has the 25, and picks up the 1st down out to the 32-yard line.
And a Wildcat slow to get up here. And that looks like Cade Hayward. And there is a flag on the play.
And it is way over on the far side, and it's going to go against the Indians. Wilson picks up 19 yards. They only needed 18. And a flag on the opposite side of the field is going to bring this one back. Well, both teams were plagued by penalties in the first meeting of the year, and this one comes at a crucial time for the Indians as it takes away a big run from Wilson and a first down, and it's going to move them back closer to their own end zone.
And the Indians show you right there, Sammy, how quick they can pick up chunk yards, and they don't have to necessarily throw the football. With Males and Wilson back there, they can get big yards on the ground when you get spread out like this.
So 3rd down and 23 now for the Indians. And here comes the ball carrier. He gets to the edge, and he's got the first down as he is knocked out of play over on the Seneca sideline. And was that Wilson again? Yes. It was Trey Wilson. Well, he just picked up 19, got it taken away, and now he picks up 22 and picks up a first down.
Yeah, just what we talk about right there. The ability to get big chunk plays on the ground. And what the Indians are doing, they're spreading the Wildcats out with receivers, really getting that defense spread out. It looks like maybe another penalty, and we'll see what happens here, but has there been another flag?
The officials are talking things over right where they're spotting the football at the 34-yard line. We've got 2:35 left to go in the ball game. Cassville leading 30-20. As the Wildcats have put the only points on the board here in the second half. A couple of field goals and a touchdown. And Seneca's running game had been held in check until this drive when they picked up chunks of yardage. One of the big runs was taken away by a penalty, but this one is going to go for a first down.
Yeah, after the discussion, it's going to be first down Indians.
So the ball at the 34-yard line of Seneca. 2.5 left to play. Stevens from the shotgun looking downfield. No one open once again. He's having to bounce around in the pocket, and now he throws it away. Cassville wanting an intentional grounding as there was no receiver over there. The closest receiver was about another 15 yards downfield, and there was no one in the area for him to throw the football to.
And I think the official threw the flag there. With the color of the field right now, it's kind of hard to pick up the flags when they're on the ground, but I believe you're going to see a grounding call.
And it is intentional grounding against the Indians.
And that's going to be a loss of down, correct? Resident official? Yes. Costly penalty there for the Indians.
It'll move them back 10 yards and cost them a down on top of it.
Once again, great coverage in the secondary by the Wildcats. Just nowhere for Stevens to go with the football.
So 2nd down and 20 for Seneca at their own 24. Time becoming more of a factor. We're down to 2:23 left to play. Cassville showing blitz. Now here they come with one of the linebackers, and the pressure underneath. They set up the screen pass. They had the blitz read, and they set up a screen underneath, but coming up to help out and cover Wilson coming out of the backfield, and he has dropped for a gain of only 6.
Well, Andrew Pryor stayed at home and was able to be in on that tackle. Really heads-up play by Pryor there. Looked like Preddy also in on the tail end of that. If Pryor doesn't see that screen being set up and stay home, that could have been a big play.
So 3rd down and 14. Wilson lets one zip down the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and that was Long. Dathan Long in traffic, couldn't hang on to it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
4th and long, Sammy. This is Wildcat secondary continues to do a good job in coverage, really not giving Stevens anywhere to go with that football.
We're down to 1:45 left to play. Cassville leading by 10. It's 4th and 14 for the Indians. The Indians still have one timeout remaining. Cassville trying to take over on downs for the 2nd time here in the half. Twin receivers left and right. Snap to Stevens. Pressure coming up the middle. He steps up. Now the ball is batted free. It's loose. A scramble back around the 25-yard line, and the Wildcats have it. Jaden Rybert gets to the quarterback and knocks the ball loose, and Cassville takes over possession with 1:36 left to play.
What a play. Again, coverage in the secondary. Linebackers able to get out there. The down lineman supplying the pressure to the quarterback. Great coverage in the secondary. Pressure Wildcats take over. 1:36 to go in this football game. The Indians can stop the clock one time, but the Wildcats are going to come out. They're going to get in victory formation right here, and they're going to kneel this thing away.
1st and 10, Cassville at the Seneca 26. 3 of the 4 possessions for the Wildcats here in the second half has started on the Seneca side of the 50. And with the 40-second clock now this year, Cassville will be able to run out the clock despite Seneca having a timeout, as Bates takes a knee and puts it in motion. And right now, Seneca is going to let it run. They may realize that there's nothing they can do. Even if they use the timeout, Cassville will still be able to milk away the clock.
Clock runs. They're not going to stop it, Sammy. 2-score ball game. What a game we've seen out here out of 2 really good football teams.
Cassville letting the play clock tick down. We're down to 12 seconds. Now they get ready to come up to the line of scrimmage. We're under a minute to go on the game clock. Cassville leading 30-20. Bates takes another knee. Depending on how quickly they get the ball set, well, the play clock is back in motion, so they will have to snap it one more time. Well, it was a great Big 8 battle during the regular season, back and forth, Seneca winning by a touchdown. And another great battle here tonight in the district championship. And Cassville is going to pick up their 10th win of the year and move on to the Class 3 quarterfinals. They win it 30-20 tonight over the Seneca Indians. Seneca's season comes to an end at 8-4. The Wildcats take the final snap. The final few seconds have to tick off the game clock, but the teams are already lining up and shaking hands as Blair Oaks has come back in the second half. They're leading 35. It's final now, 35-7. Blair Oaks defeats Buffalo, so it looks like Cassville's going to be heading to Jeff City next Saturday in the Class 3 quarterfinals.
What a football game, Sammy. The Wildcats dug themselves a hole early, 14-0 right out of the chute. But I tell you what, they battled back, and you come in out of the second half, and again, we've talked a little bit about it tonight. We knew Cassville, to be successful, they've run the football. They came out in the second half. They're determined to do that, and they were able to do that. They were able to put drives together, eat clock, ultimately get points on the board. Once they were able to stretch it to a 2-score game, then the defense, what a job the defense did in the second half of this football game. Just outstanding defense, especially when they had to get out in coverage. Great job, and they were able to contain Males and Wilson in the second half of this game. There's the difference in the football game.
Yeah, after giving up nearly 250 yards rushing in the first half, up until that final drive from Seneca, they had held the Indians to just 33 yards rushing in the second half.
Right.
Quite a turnaround. Boy, a story of 2 halves here tonight in Cassville. The Wildcats win at 30-20, and it's on to the quarterfinals next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, and they'll be headed to Jefferson City to take on the Blair Oaks Falcons as Blair Oaks wins it tonight over Buffalo 35-7. That was a 7-7 game at halftime. Just like Cassville erupted in the second half here, Blair Oaks erupted in the second half at home against Buffalo.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Blair Oaks, highly ranked team. I believe they #1 team in Class 3. Is that correct?
They are the #1 ranked team in Class 3.
Hey, if you're going to make your way in the playoffs, you're going to have to come up against the best, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. The Wildcats are going to have that opportunity next Saturday to play the best. So, great job tonight. District championship for the Cassville Wildcats, and more importantly, they move on to live another day and play on the weekend next week.
Cassville wins at 30-20. We're going to take a break and be back with the postgame show. You're listening to District Championship Football here on the Talon Sports Network. to 20, and they claimed the District 6 championship over the Seneca Indians. It was a 20-17 lead for the Indians at halftime, but Cassville put all the points on the board in the second half. With 7:56 left to go in the third, a 48-yard field goal from Drake Reese tied the score at 20. With 3:41 left to go in the third, a 19-yard run by Zach Kanan gave the Wildcats the lead 27-20. And then with 3:40 left to go in the game, an 18-yard field goal from Reese made it a two-possession lead, and that ended up being our final score. Cassville victorious over Seneca, 30-20. And Cassville on to the Class 3 quarterfinals. They'll play next Saturday at Blair Oaks against the Falcons, and we'll be along for the ride as well. We will continue with more of our postgame. We've got our postgame stats to go over and also a visit with head coach Parnell. But first, a word from our sponsors. Back with more after this. History will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association, the Talon Sports Network, and Access Family Care. We appreciate their sponsorship of Cassville High School football. Wildcats win it tonight 30-20 over the Seneca Indians. They claim the district championship. And we'll move on to the Class 3 quarterfinals. They'll play a week from tomorrow up in the Jefferson City area, taking on Blair Oaks. The Falcons winning tonight over Buffalo 35-7. Looking at our final stats from tonight's ball game, Seneca 45 carries for 291 yards, but nearly 250 of that came in the first half. They were held to just unofficially 41 yards on the ground in the third and fourth quarters. The Indians completed 3 of 6 passes for a total of 17 yards for 308 total yards of offense. 12 first downs picked up by Seneca. They turned it over twice, both on fumbles. They were penalized 5 times for 35 yards and punted 3 times for a 27-yard average. Cassville, 35 carries for 173 yards, but 143 of those coming in the second half, as the Wildcats completed 4 of 7 passes on the night for 149 yards for a total of 322 yards of offense. Cassville picked up 10 first downs. They turned it over once on a fumbled punt. They were penalized 4 times for 35 yards and punted once for 30 yards on the night. Trey Wilson leading the way for the Indians, the Big 8 West Offensive Player of the Year, carried for 153 yards on 16 carries and a touchdown, but 110 of those yards were gained in the first half. Monty Males, the first-team All-Big 8 All-Purpose Player, ran for 147 yards tonight, but 134 of those coming in the first half, and he also ran for a touchdown. Quarterback Lance Stevens ran for a score on the night as well. For Cassville, Zach Kanan leading the way with 65 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. Bowen Preddy had 53 yards rushing on 11 carries, and Devin Bates 27 yards on 5 carries. And Drake Reese had 2 carries for 18 yards. Preddy also had 3 catches on the night for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. So over 200 yards of total offense for Bowen Preddy, and 2 scores, and Zach Kanan 65 yards leading the way with the ground attack and a touchdown tonight, and 3 field goals coming from Drake Reese, the Big 8 first-team all-conference kicker. Not only had a couple of carries, 1 for a big first down, but also kicked 3 field goals on the night. Wildcats win it 30-20. We will take another break and be back with more of the postgame and visit with head coach Lance Pardell right after this. Cassville, the Wildcats win it over the Indians 30-20. It's now time for our post-game visit with head coach Lance Parnell, brought to you by the law office of John A. Learight. They proudly support the Wildcats, and they want everyone to remember, if you don't talk, you may walk, and to call 417-847-2177. That's 847-2177. Well, Coach, congratulations. The Wildcats claim the district championship, and you're moving on to the quarterfinals.
Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it. We've talked for 3 weeks in a row. Give us one more week, and that was one of the things I said in an emotional post-game talk down there to our kids. Is we got one more week. Now let's go see if we can earn another one. But what a great high school football game.
Well, the first meeting of the year between Seneca and Cassville was a back-and-forth affair. Both teams trading the leads throughout the night. This one was kind of a tale of two halves. Cassville, not that you played bad in the first half, it's just Seneca was doing a lot of things right, especially defensively. And if not for a couple of big touchdown pass receptions from Devin Bates to Bowen Preddy, the Wildcats would have trailed big at the break, but you were able to get those big offensive plays to keep it a close football game. And then at halftime, and you guys have been in this position before this year as well, coming out in the second half, on fire. I mean, you guys came out, started dominating the line of scrimmage, running the football, which is what you wanted to do all night long, and then the defense just kind of built on that momentum and shut down their running attack.
I'm super proud of our kids. We challenged them at halftime, and you said didn't play real well. I thought we played awful in the first quarter. I mean, especially defensively. Made some mistakes, turned the ball over on a. I thought we played terrible. Hit a big play to keep us in it, and I thought Clay Weldy my offensive coordinator did a great job of getting some of those big shock plays just to keep us in the ball game. And we challenged our kids at halftime. Kind of started in the second quarter, and man, talk about a group of kids that responded to the challenge. From our offensive linemen to our linebackers to the way our secondary tackled. I mean, it was night and day, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah, you look at some of the unofficial numbers that I kept tonight in the first half. Cassville couldn't run the football, and you couldn't stop Seneca's running game. In the second half, it was the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, we just came out with a completely different focus in the second half defensively. I thought we took control of the line of scrimmage. We started making the tackles that we needed to make, and they were getting yards after contact in the first half. We would make contact, and it would be 4, 5, 8, 15 just breaking tackles, and I thought we took that away in the second half, with our tackling. And then offensively, our O-line stepped up and played huge, and our backs ran extremely hard. Got some tough yards, and sustained some drives. Just couldn't be more proud of the way we played in the second half.
You get the game tied at 20, and then you're able to take the lead at 27-20, and boy, then you could really see the aspects of the game starting to change, and Seneca started trying to throw the ball a little bit more, trying to catch up and take some chunks of ground, and that's when your defense really took over, because not only were you covering the guys downfield and not giving their quarterback anybody to throw to, your defensive linemen started getting pressure on the quarterback, and then that last possession, they not only got pressure on him, they started sacking him for losses and pushing him back towards the other end zone.
Yeah, we were able to do in the second half what we couldn't do in the first half, and that is get off the field. Stop drives, force them to punt, and get the ball back to our offense. And, once up 7, you're still concerned. We were there the first time with them. We were up late, and they drive down the field and score. But, for us to get a stop and get the ball back and then go down and take chunk time off the clock and kick a big field goal to go up 10 late, not that I was still breathing real easy. There was still 3 minutes to go. But then the way our defense played, getting 2 back-to-back sacks and, getting off the field again late in the game, great effort by those young men.
Those 2 big touchdown passes in the first half not only gave life to the Wildcats, but it also gave life to your fan base here tonight. Everyone got rejuvenated when that happened, and that kind of helped out in the first half as well.
Oh, it did. Seneca completely controlled the game in the first half. They came in and, took the emotion out of our sideline and our crowd on their opening drive with a long run. We tried to fight back, and we would get momentum back, and we'd go up, 17-14 there right before half, and then give up a long run. So we give them momentum right back. Didn't execute real well there right before half. Probably should have been able to get some points on the board there. But that was just kind of the way the first half went for us. I don't think I did a very good job coaching in the first half, putting our kids in some situations and not adjusting the way I needed to. And um, you know, I thought we, coaching wise, kid wise, second half was a completely different story. We regained the momentum there to start the second half, tying the ball game up, and then getting a stop and the big score to go up 27-20. You know, and you saw our crowd, our kids got into it, and just completely different atmosphere here.
You get that field goal by Drake Reese late in the first half to get you to within 3, and then coming out of that locker room, you knew you were going to get the football back. And the tone got set on that very first possession, and you saw it from the offensive lineman up front and from the running of Zach Kanan, because he was punishing people that were trying to tackle him the first few times he carried the ball in the third quarter.
He played a whale of a football game tonight. He's a really good football player, and I'm glad he's just a junior. But especially in the second half, I mean, give him the ball and he's going to get those tough yards we needed. And you know, played well defensively, had some huge tackles for us. You know, that young man, I thought Bowen ran hard. Devin got some big yards for us. I mean, all in all, then our offensive line really stepped up in the second half. But yeah, Zach had a heck of a ball game, especially in the second half.
Yeah, that spark that got started on those first 2 or 3 plays there in the second half, that just really ignited everything, and it carried over to the special teams and the defense in every aspect of the game.
Well, this is an amazing group of seniors, you know, and these juniors have jumped right on board with them. You know, they never think they're out of anything. You know, they come to work every day, and you saw that momentum and that enthusiasm grow in them. You know, there in the second half, and once we got the score tied and then took the lead, I mean, you're looking at their eyes and thinking they're going to finish this thing. I mean, it's been a goal of theirs since we started winter conditioning. You know, that they wanted to finish what we didn't get done a year ago, and man, I'm proud of them because they got it done tonight.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next point. What happened a year ago? The season came to an end in the district championship after 11 straight wins, and this group, they don't want the season to end in the district championship.
No, for some reason they like hanging out with Coach Weldy, Coach Glidewell, Coach Elliott, Coach Schmidt, Coach Donch, and Coach Arthurton, and myself. I think we're pretty good guys, but these kids kind of like us too and keep wanting to come back and go to work. But no, it's a great group. You know, like I said, we've been saying one more week, and these kids have a great attitude when they come to practice every day. They work their tail ends off. We had a great week of practice last week. You know, talk about my senior captains a little bit. You know, we go through our Monday walkthrough, and Tuesday this week was kind of cold. And, you know, I told them on Monday to make sure you're prepared. You know, have your hoodies and, you know, long johns and all that kind of good stuff. But in my mind, I'm like, hey, it's cold. We won't get a whole lot done. We're going to stay inside. So I called my 4 senior captains over and I said, hey, guys, I got some good news and some bad news. What do you want? Give us the bad news, Coach. It's cold outside. What's the good news? Well, we're going to be inside today. And they all looked at me and says, no, we got to go out. We did not play well last year in the cold in the district championship game. Coach, we got to be outside. And I go, all right, boys, great decision. We were outside. They handled it well. And, you know, that's just the way they prepare. That's the way they prepared and approached all this, and show some maturity out of them. And I'm really, really happy and proud for them.
Well, you're moving on to the final 8 now, the quarterfinals, a week from tomorrow. Everything shifts to Saturday now. And something else that's going to be different for the Wildcats, you're going to be out on the road after 3 weeks at home here in the district playoffs. Now you're going to head out on the road, and you head up to the Jeff City area to take on Blair Oaks. The Falcons, kind of like the Wildcats, caught fire in the second half tonight. They had a 7-7 game at halftime against Buffalo, but then they pull away to a 35-7 victory tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a new opponent for us, you know, and all of my years here, we've never played Blair Oaks. I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about them. I know they're a very good program that has kind of bounced back and forth between Class 2 and Class 3 over the years. I think they've got some state championships in the last
Won the
few
state
years.
championship last year in Class 2.
So, I mean, they're going to be a very good football team. You know, we'll go to work. We'll get some film traded this weekend and start watching. But what we're going to do is we're going to enjoy this one. I told our kids, enjoy the win, and let's come back to work on Monday. And we got one more week.
And that's what makes things exciting this time of year, too, especially once you get out of district play. You start running into teams you may have not seen for a long time or not seen at all, and it makes it fun to prepare for those teams.
It does. I tell you what it does. It starts to re-energize your kids. You know, second time we played Seneca. Last week was the second time Monette. You know, second time Aurora through the district play. So they were all common opponents. Now you get to roll into a film session. So that's their school colors, coach. Where are they at? And you got to talk to them about some of this stuff. And it's just they're going to be fresh mentally. it's going to completely change their approach of, we haven't already done this already. So that's what gets exciting about this part of the year.
And it also increases the challenge, too, because you know that everyone that's still left is still playing football is a very good football team.
Oh, absolutely. And we've had that throughout this district run. I mean, this is a loaded district. There's some very very good football teams. Monette a week ago. Seneca this week. That's a very good football team we beat tonight. Those two running backs are a load, and very very good football players. And yeah, we're going to go on the road, and we're going to see a Blair Oaks team that's got a ton of tradition. And I don't think they've been beat this year. I think they're undefeated if I looked at it right. So we got our work cut out for us, but these kids will have a good week of prep, and they're going to be excited to jump on a bus and head north.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Thanks again for the time here in the postgame. We'll let you go celebrate with your team, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again next week as you get ready for the Falcons.
Sammy, Jeremy, Todd, I appreciate all that you guys do and the coverage that you give us, and I appreciate all the fans coming out tonight. It was a great atmosphere. I want to say thank you to our businesses in town that helped get our students in tonight. What an awesome thing that our community did. We talk about the community support that we have here, and that was shown, this week by some local businesses stepping up and offering to get our high school kids in and paying for that. And that's what it's all about. That's what high school sports and high school football is all about. Just seeing kids, fans, community members come together, and it was a great atmosphere tonight, and we get to walk away with the district championship trophy.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for some good weather so all the black and gold can make the long trip up north.
I sure hope so. We'd love to have a great following. I know it's going to be a long bus trip up there, a long ride, but man, it'd be great to see a lot of black and gold faithful up there. And I know we will have that. We've always traveled well, and I know they're going to travel well to the quarterfinal game.
Should be a good one, and we're looking forward to it. Coach, thanks again.
Hey, thanks, guys. Susie, girls, I love you. I'll be home in a little bit.
Coach Lance Parnell joining us here at the postgame show. His interview brought to you by the Law Office of John A. Leewright. They proudly support the Wildcats, and their professional personnel believe in your rights to a fair hearing and representing you with the utmost expertise, integrity, and excellence. Call 847-2177. That's 847-2177. We'll take another break, be back to hand out our postgame awards, and wrap things up here tonight from Cassville. Cassville, the Wildcats win it 30-20 over the Seneca Indians. They claim the district championship and move on to the quarterfinals. It's time to hand out our post-game awards. Our hard hit of the night brought to you by B&K Auto Body, where fixing hard hits is their specialty. They use a Blackhawk frame rack and measurement system. They give free computerized estimates, and they work with all major insurances. B&K Auto Body, phone 847-3990. Our hard hit of the night goes to Andrew Pryor, and he had himself one whale of a football game tonight defensively, and he also caps it off with the hard hit of the night.
Yeah, great job. Boy, he puts a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. We saw it tonight, not only putting pressure on the quarterback, but playing great in the run game. And the play specifically we're talking about actually jarred a football loose. So just another really nice job by Pryor.
Again, our Wildcat hard hit of the night goes to Andrew Pryor, and it's brought to you by B&K Auto Body. They offer claims assistance with all major insurances. They can also do current paint and matching techniques to put your hard-hit vehicle back on the road again. B&K Auto Body, phone 847-3990. Our Wildcat player of the game is brought to you by Fast Trip at 104 South Main in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Now, we have lots of options here. The way that second half went, a lot of players really stepped up big. Bowen Preddy over 200 yards of total offense and a couple of touchdowns. Zach Kanan, a touchdown on the night as well. But our player of the game tonight goes to the all-conference kicker and punter, Drake Reese. Not only did he have a big carry on a fake punt that picked up a first down and kept the drive going, he had 2 rushes for 18 yards on the night, but he also kicked 3 field goals, and I can't remember if a Cassville game I have done has ever had 3 field goals. I can remember 2, but I can never remember 3, and one of them was to tie the game, and another one to give the Cassville Wildcats a 2-possession lead late in the game. And one of them was from 48 yards, which is a poke. And Drake Reese is our player of the game.
You're kicking a rock on a cold night. And, yeah, just a really nice job. And as you said, we have choices, and we do every week. And, you know, some of those guys played as good as we've seen them play with, you know, Kanan and Preddy. Never given this award, I believe, to a kicker. But he had a great game. And the last field goal he kicked, as you said, to make it a 2-possession ball game, that was a death nail, and kind of put this game out of reach. So great job, several guys, great job, but Drake Reese, you know, making those kicks is big tonight.
Yeah, because you look at his first field goal, the 21-yarder gave the Wildcats the lead. The second one from 48 yards tied the game. And then the last one from 18 gave him the 2-possession lead. So every one of those kicks had a lot of stuff behind them to affect the outcome of this football game.
Certainly, absolutely.
So Drake Reese, our Wildcat player of the game, again brought to you by Fast Trip at 104 South Main in Cassville, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Well, the Wildcats survive and advance one more time. It's on to the quarterfinals. Only 8 teams now left. And they will head up to the Jefferson City area to take on Blair Oaks. They win tonight 35-7 over Buffalo to claim the District 5 championship. And the Falcons, ranked number 1 in the state, they're the defending Class 2 champs, but they got bumped up to Class 3 as they've been kind of bouncing back and forth here in recent years, but now in Class 3. So that'll be the next opponent for the Wildcats next Saturday as things shift to Saturday, and they'll be afternoon games now.
Well, I tell you what, through this district series, you go through Aurora, then the Wildcats play a very physical, tough Monette Cub football team. They survive, win, advance. Tonight, very tough, physical, hard-nosed Seneca Indian football team. Wildcats survive, move on. They're battle-tested. Wildcats won a district championship. They are battle-tested heading in to the semifinals. Going to be the quarterfinals. Going to be a tough game next weekend. I mean, that's all. We don't really know a lot about Blair Oaks. I think they like to throw the football around a little bit. Probably run 4 receivers in most sets. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think the Wildcats are going to run into any teams that are going to be as physical as the last 2 weeks that they've been involved in. Now, the speed of the game may be a little bit different. We don't know. We'll see. All I know is that team that went in that field house that won the football game tonight is battle-tested and ready to move on.
Big win tonight over Seneca. So one of the Big 8 teams has now eliminated Seneca, but two still alive, Cassville in Class 3, and Lamar wins tonight over Fair Grove. Fair Grove was the 1 seed, Lamar the 2 seed, but the Tigers win it tonight over the Eagles 50-25, so Lamar advances to the Class 2 quarterfinals. The other area team, Pierce City, they were on the road at Thayer. The Eagles took a late fourth quarter lead over the Bobcats, 20-19. But Thayer gets a late field goal and wins it 22-20 over the Pierce City Eagles. And, boy, that's been their Waterloo. They cannot get by those Bobcats. This is 4 times in a row now Thayer has ended Pierce City's season.
Yeah, just a situation where it just seems like they've got their number and just cannot get over that hump.
And
tough,
we talk about
tough loss.
Well, we talk about how you've got all these really good teams out of the Big 8 that have to knock each other off just to get into the quarterfinal round. Pierce City and Thayer's in the top 5 in the state every year, and they got to play in the districts. So one of your top teams in the state's not even going to get out of district.
Right.
But that's the way the brackets fall and the way things shape up. And Thayer finds another way to win tonight, 22-20 on a late fourth quarter field goal. The Bobcats end the Eagles season.
Yeah, and you talk about some of the better teams, ranked teams. See that in this district every year, Sammy. You've got state-ranked teams that aren't moving on because someone else that's state-ranked does. So, you know what? It's tough this time of year. You got to catch some breaks, but you got to play good football too. And especially, tonight in the second half, Wildcats answer the bell.
We're going to get on out of here. We'd like to thank all the folks at Cassville for all the hospitality once again, Athletic Director Doug Martin and all of his staff. As we've had a fun time here again tonight. A great fan base tonight for Cassville and a good group of fans from Seneca making the trip up as well to watch this one here tonight. Also like to thank all of our sponsors for helping support our broadcast, either on WebTV or the radio. We thank them so very much for helping us get these games out on the airwaves. Thanks to Dwayne and Janet once again for keeping an eye on the store back at the studios, making sure everything's running all right, and being our backup for us. We appreciate their help every night throughout the high school football season as well. And we look forward to being back with you a week from tomorrow on a Saturday now, Cassville at Blair Oaks in the Class 3 quarterfinals. The Wildcats and the Falcons will be doing battle, and we'll be along for the ride as well here on the Talon Network. We'll be providing more details as to start times and the particulars as we roll into next week. But it should be a lot of fun as the Wildcats move on into the Class 3 quarterfinals. Once again, our final score here tonight from Wildcat Stadium. Cassville defeats Seneca by a score of 30-20. Speaking for Jeremy and Todd, this is Sammy Clapper saying thanks for joining us and good night from Cassville.